Hello, everybody. My name is Stephone Collins, or you'll come to know as All Smiles, as I might slip up and say my screen name sometimes. And I'm sitting here with a bunch of like-minded individuals. We're gonna go around, starting with you. Who are you? Who are you people?
Who are you?
Starting with me. My name is Dante, but I expect for you all to call me Dan during the podcast.
No.
Yes.
Hey, Dante.
Danny boy.
Dan.
Dante.
My name is Joseph, and I'm copywriting you for stealing a line from my verse, like-minded individuals.
Oh, I did it.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot completely.
You can also call me Blake,
Hey, Blake.
a.k.a. Big,
Don't do that.
God
Whatever you're about
Blake,
to
Super
say.
Saiyan,
Okay.
God Blake, all that type, you know.
My name is Michai, and yeah, that's my intro.
Hey, Michai Carlisle.
Yeah.
Yeah, my last
Your
name
full
too.
government out there.
Michai Jaime Nazir Carlisle.
And welcome to the Outcasted podcast. Name in progress.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Do you guys feel okay with the name that we have right now?
I feel like the name's good, but we just need to have clarity on it.
I feel like it's nice. It's a nice name, like the Outcast
We need
podcast.
to stand out.
Yeah.
Because,
Or the
this
Outcast pod.
name- Yeah. The Outcast pod.
It's like
Yeah, whatever. Sounds
Anyway.
like something Vegeta would call an escape pod.
Satan pod. Is that what you mean?
I thought you said Satan pod.
No.
No,
The demon inside.
that would be too edgy.
That's too edgy.
Well, it's,
Get on the topic.
Yeah, let's get on
What's
the topic.
What's going on here? What is this?
We're
Why
recording.
are we doing this right now? What?
What?
Any of you got an answer to that question?
I thought you were paying us.
You're not paying us?
You're not paying us?
All questions to the end of the podcast, please.
But you just said. Well,
conveniently. Anyways,
Anyway, so today, we just wanted to get to know each other. We got a few topics on hand that and I got some segues planned for what I want to slip into and talk about and stuff. You're gonna hear that, but so for right now, we're just gonna get to know each other.
Yeah.
What's going on?
tell you guys about us, and also sprinkle a bit of topics here and there.
Topics like what?
Some hot topics like
Hot topic.
yeah,
Hot
as in the
topic.
store.
You guys
But
remember that place?
I think the store's pretty good.
That's a good story.
but
That's not
probably into literature. Like we're probably going to touch into the types of books or books that we see as beneficial.
Nice.
Yeah.
Spicy.
So anybody want to start by talking about let's just try to start with books and let's see where we go from there. Kinda
Yeah,
like your
because we're all
Wikipedia
writers.
searches.
We're all writers. Yeah.
Yeah, we are all writers. How did I forget that? Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. So we all kind of write stories, and what's kind of some books that have been inspiring you to write? Because I know The Catcher in the Rye has kind of inspired my style of writing and thinking for a while. Even though I haven't completed the book, I'm what? I'm almost done the book, but something just it's hard to finish it, you know?
No, Catcher in the Rye is one of those really famous books that everyone's read, but I've never read it. So
You should.
I never read it either.
have you
Me
read it?
either.
Dante, have you
honestly.
read it?
No.
Do you guys know what it's about?
No.
No.
It's about
Is
a
it like
ride that
a-
catches.
It's
No.
about a teenager, and things are happening to him.
That sounds
Isn't
like
that-
my life.
Yeah, same here.
It's just
It's like one of those zodiac signs things. Like it can be applied to anything.
yeah.
It's very
Holden-
general.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Holden Caulfield is just a very difficult character.
Aquarius likes food.
As in,
Pisces, you're gonna wake up and do this thing.
like,
Taurus,
yeah,
yes.
yes, just
Leo,
yes.
you will find love.
Well, so does everyone.
What's love?
Same.
Baby, don't hurt me.
We're getting off topic.
Yeah, we're already.
But yeah. So yeah, Catcher in the Rye is is a book that really catches my attention at times. But what are some books that or things that you what's some media that has affected how you approach your work and how you write
Media
things?
or books
Books.
specifically?
I mean, we could.
We can go from books or comic books, books and video games, all that. What affects your writing?
So a plethora of things affect mine. I think my main inspiration has been the Harry Potter series and the Percy Jackson series.
Yes.
Because the fantasy and all the creativeness that went into it, it always inspired me. Especially the way Percy Jackson operated and how they built up Percy Jackson,
The main character of
the
book.
main character of Percy.
Yeah. Percy Jackson series. He's the main character.
Yeah, you
Right,
kind
he's
of
the
went
main
from
character.
You went from like Harry Potter to Percy
Oh,
Jackson.
I mentioned
confused.
both. I mentioned
okay.
both as inspiration.
Oh, okay.
Like, oh man, what? What are you?
For me, it's been like so recently I've been reading 1984 by George
yes.
Orwell.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah,
that's
it's it's a good book. And whenever I start to write something, I tend to I want to focus on character development because I think that's an important aspect of a character and how they react to certain things in the story. Mm-hmm. Because you can't just have a dry character in a reactive world.
Yeah. Like,
Ooh, sometimes you can if you have a flat character, like a character who has their own set personality and their own goals, and they stick with it till the end, like a Goku.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But in that,
makes
like
sense.
you have the other characters kind of react to Goku's type of character or said character, and then you have another flat villain who always goes against that character.
if
Oh,
you have a flat character, then you have basically a canvas for basically a canvas for you to do whatever you want. With the character. So if your character was bland in the start, you can you give the character you give them the reader some a reason to dislike your character right off the bat, but you also give them a lot of leg room to work with them, to improve them in a negative way, or degrade them in a negative way, or improve them from there.
I think so in terms of character development, with me I think it's how the character functions. So you have this character at the start, and let's say this is stage 0, right? As the story progresses, the character will as most people do, as most actual people do, they tend to grow and they become more responsible or more mature, or if let's say a villain, they become more evil, or their actions become more. I mean, a good villain is when you start to you kind of agree with their actions.
I would agree with that one.
I
It
disagree
depends,
with
because
that.
you could have
It's
a Frieza type character who's just pure evil all the time.
Yeah, but let's say, what's a really good villain?
What did you say, Dante?
A really good
He's
villain would be Thanos.
Thanos is a good villain.
Yeah.
He's trying to argue that the sympathetic villain is the best villain you can have. I disagree.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of villains, and most of them, the Joker, for instance, he's not a sympathetic villain at all, but everyone loves him. He has his own
That's
movie
true.
coming out.
He is my favorite villain in terms of character writing, because the idea that because a lot of villains are like this, but the idea that the Joker's past is not defined makes him a lot more easy to craft into whatever people want, because the Joker does have a lot of backstories, not even the Joker, just the line from The Killing Joke, sometimes I remember it one way, sometimes I remember it another. If I have a past, I would prefer it to be multiple choice. I because he doesn't even know how he came to be. I'm just evil for the sake of it. It just be like that sometimes.
Kind of like One Punch Man, if you think about it.
How so?
Explain, sir.
Explain?
Yeah.
Because One Punch Man is just I gotta get stronger, and then he even tries to apply that to other characters as well. With, what is his name? King?
King?
Yeah, with King. You know how King's weak?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
The character
when One
King.
Punch Man found out that he was weak, instead of One Punch Man doing what I believe any ordinary man would do, probably expose him or try to tell him to retire, One Punch Man just told him to get stronger. And whenever people ask One Punch Man how he got his strength, he immediately just say, I just got stronger, I just trained. And it's that one thing that he always gives out. And he's even bored, I believe, of his hero work and stuff.
But I'm confused. How does this relate to the Joker, though?
How does it relate to the
what's going
Joker?
on?
Because you're saying that the Joker is just evil and he doesn't even know why he's evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
That can be applied to Saitama, One Punch Man, a little
I watched
bit.
a video on Saitama today, and I don't the thing with Saitama is that he knows why he wanted to be a hero. He back when he was fighting that giant lobster monster.
Oh yeah.
He wanted to
Cravante.
yeah.
Cravante.
from that moment, like he like was about to like let him go. Was like, I don't care. But like when he saw like he was about to harm that innocent little boy, he was like, nah, and like just obliterated that man, destroyed, gone forever. But like Joker, like if we're going by like his backstory of Arthur Fleck, like he was like kind of damaged in the way of like people, like the world made him who he was. So like in that way, then I understand that like Saitama and Joker have like similarities, but like the thing is like Joker doesn't know if that's correct.
Right.
Because I think even like the new movie coming out in October, like that's going off like a different story.
Is it? Is that like confirmed or no?
It's not confirmed, but like it has like some similarities to The Killing Joke, but it doesn't have similarity like I mean it has similarities to The Killing Joke, but it's kind of different because like it has like if you watch the trailer, which I'm like you guys haven't, but like I know you have because I forced you to.
Yeah, you did
like,
force me.
It shows like some scenes of like more scenes of his mother like in The Killing Joke. There's like not a lot of emphasis on his mother.
The Killing Joke had no emphasis on his mother.
Yeah, not at all.
But
it had emphasis on his pregnant wife.
What it did have was a version of his backstory, which people can take as like being true to the story, but it's more just like a personal thing. Mm-hmm. But in The Killing Joke, his whole backstory was that he was a washed-up comedian, and his wife, he had like marriage issues, something or other. I don't completely remember.
Did they have marriage issues?
It was like kind of.
The thing is, like you probably like you read it, right?
Yeah, I read it and watched the movie.
Yeah, because I watched the movie. You probably know more of it.
Yeah, there's an animated series.
There wasn't an animated series. Know there was a Killing Joke movie?
I mean, I knew there was. I'm just like, why would you watch the movie of that?
Because you read the comics.
What backstory?
My friend tried to show it.
I'm sorry for interrupting, but what backstory said that Joker, like he was a product of his environment?
That's the current movie right now. Like, basically, people are saying like Arthur Fleck was like made because he was like doused in chemicals and like
it made his skin go white.
Yeah,
or it made him go crazy.
Like, what's the name of like I forgot like I don't know what the name of like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is. I think it's still Arthur Fleck. I'm not sure. I can fact check later. But like his Joker was made because of society. So like that's the one you're thinking.
We live in a society.
We live in a society.
So he wouldn't be a character that's like flat evil, wouldn't he? Because like that's kind of sympathetic.
Yeah, like the thing is like the way that society treats him, like okay, never mind. I'm thinking like the way that society treats him, you would think that the Joker was made like he would be made into a hero.
Right.
But like because of like all like he sees like how much of the world, how close the world is going into madness, I think he's like obsessed with seeing that idea through. Like what would the world look like if it would completely submerged in the madness? And like that's kind of like what he wanted to prove in The Killing Joke. He wanted to prove that like one bad day can like ruin a man just like one bad day ruined him. Cause he doesn't like in the comic and in the movie, he doesn't want to like seem crazy for like how he's going about this. Cause like he lost everything like in one day. They killed his wife.
Did they? Or did she die or something?
I think she died.
Did she die or leave him? Because there's another one.
Okay, I think in the movie, I think she died. I may be mistaken, but like either way, he lost his wife, and he like had to do like something for the mob, and then like he lost his face and like all that, and he just went mad.
Yikes! But that's a sort of like this brings up another question, which is can a person be born evil?
Oh,
I wanna.
Yo.
Wait. I have a super villain. You guys know Carnage's backstory, don't you?
No, actually.
You don't know Carnage's backstory?
For people who don't know, you should explain it.
Okay, since I'm the spider guy here.
Spider-Man.
Spider Dan.
So, Spider Dan. That's my spider Sona's name.
Just say it.
Okay, so Carnage's backstory is, what was Carnage's real name again? Do you remember?
No.
It wasn't Eddie Brock. Eddie Brock is Venom. Joseph,
like-
look it up for me for a second.
Yeah,
It
keep
was-
going though. Keep going.
So, Carnage, he was a little boy. When he was a little boy, he
Wait,
killed
wait.
his grandmother.
Wait, are you
That was, like,
talking about the person behind the guy? I mean, the suit or the suit itself?
the person behind the
Because
suit?
they both have personalities.
The
Dude.
person behind it.
Yeah,
the
they don't.
Carnage suit is just like Venom's baby, though. So, the person Carnage before he was Carnage, he was like a little boy, and like the first evil thing he did when he was like a toddler is he pushed his grandmother down the stairs.
Oh yeah, I remember.
and he killed her.
So you're talking about Cletus Cassidy.
Yeah, Cletus.
Yeah,
That's his
Cletus
name.
Cassidy.
Okay, I forgot who you were talking about, and I thought you were talking about like what's his name? Craven?
Craven
Craven
yeah.
the Hunter.
The
Yeah,
Hunter?
I thought you were talking about like Wolverine's enemy, but like
No,
you're talking
that's-
about Carnage.
That's
Yeah.
Sabretooth.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Sabretooth. Okay. So like Carnage is like the one they're making a movie about next, right?
Are they?
Are
I'm
they?
not sure.
Yeah,
He's probably
yeah,
gonna be in Venom too.
They
'Cause they
it's
made
either
a-
Venom 2 or like because they teased him at the
Yeah,
end
they
of it.
teased him at the end of
But
Venom.
continue, Dante. Sorry.
Then later on, he tries to kill his mother, but his mother retaliates and survives, and then she puts him up for adoption.
No. I got you now. Next step, adoption.
If your child tried to kill you, wouldn't you want to get rid of him too?
I mean,
Son, did you try to kill me?
Yeah.
All right, I get it.
I would like
I
at
think he
least want to
tried
get him
multiple.
out.
I don't know if he tried multiple times, but I'm pretty sure he tried multiple times to kill her.
Wait, he
Multiple?
did kill the grandma, right?
Yeah, he
Wait,
killed the
why?
grandma.
Going to
Wait,
adoption.
why? Explain his behavior.
Going to
He
X.
doesn't have any explanation. He just did it.
He just did it.
He
to
just
do
did it.
It really be like that
I
sometimes.
think he killed his cat too.
Why?
Did he have like mental any?
On some Dio type term.
Was he
probably-
written with any psychological issues?
I think they tried to portray him as a psychopath, but they didn't really act like that in real life.
So what's a
Yeah.
character that was? It wasn't. They weren't born evil, but it was the product of their environment.
I know,
And like in
like
terms
in
of Marvel,
like Marvel.
In terms of anything, honestly.
I want to say
Yeah.
Eddie Brock.
Eddie Brock.
Yeah, because he was just a reporter guy, and then like he wanted to do this report on like this. He's like, hey, I finally found this murderer guy or whatever, and like it turns out Spider-Man the same day caught the real person,
Oh yeah.
and because of this, like he lost his job, and then because he lost his job, he lost his wife and family.
Oh,
yeah.
Why did I laugh?
Why did you laugh at that?
Yeah.
yeah.
So his wife left him, and then he was like, "Oh, this is Spider-Man's fault." So he becomes like he joins the symbiote to try to kill Spider-Man.
Okay, so not speaking in terms of fictional stories, do you think a person can truly be born evil?
Probably.
Yeah,
Well, okay, so moral standards are different for everything. Like in different countries, certain things are allowed, certain things aren't. So like for what you're saying, like born evil, I think that would happen if that person was born into a culture that say had different morals that were considered evil to us. Like if in their society they kill people and they think that it's normalized, then that would be their they would think that's right, but we would think that's wrong.
But like,
So I think evil is just a construct, like a thing that we view somebody as.
what makes a person evil? Like,
Yeah,
when you like
mostly
what
their
action-
actions, their thoughts.
Yeah.
Typically.
it's usually their
Thoughts-
actions,
thoughts
not their
is tricky.
thoughts.
Well,
Yeah,
Because-
thoughts are tricky.
Yeah.
We can't control our thoughts.
Because like everybody can lie. Yeah,
You
kind
mean
of.
you can't?
I mean, kind of, yeah.
You can't really. You can have a thought, and then like immediately after you're like, why would I think that?
Yeah, like that's an intrusive thought. Like
Yeah.
you can't control intrusive thoughts. Intrusive thoughts just happen to you.
I guess so, like-
everybody can lie and say like they haven't had a thought of like I would never do that. Like haven't thought about killing like one of like a person who's been annoying you, but we know they're lying. Come on, bro. It's like those posts on Facebook. It's like, would you stump this baby's face out for
No.
like $500? Of course I would.
Or those people
Right
who be
away.
like,
No.
don't judge. Or these people who be like, don't judge. And it's
Don't
like, it's
judge.
hard because as soon as we look at something, our minds automatically judge it.
Yeah.
You know, people like judge all the time. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a sad thing. Is like when we kind of noticed this. Like I think we all came to the conclusion like as a group like when we were like walking on our way to CCP and like we saw like some lady spazzing out in the street.
Yeah.
She was just screaming, talking to herself. Like I feel like we all subconsciously judged her
Yeah.
for like a minute, and then we all came to the conclusion like that's sad. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not great.
And it's inevitable too. Like that lady, there two things, like things could happen. Like that lady could have been having a bad day, or that lady could have schizophrenia.
Yeah. Plus, there's like a rehab center, so like
Yeah.
the idea of her having schizophrenia is like closer than that, like closer than we think.
Yeah, but that's just what our brains do. Like we judge things, we perceive things as what we think it means, so we can understand it.
I mean, we pretty much judge things like pretty much the instant we see it.
Yeah.
So if I look at you, Stephone, I see.
You're judging a man who's on his phone right now.
Exactly.
So in terms of like people being born evil, I don't think anybody can be. I mean, if looking at this like.
I mean, if you look
objectively as possible, nobody can be born evil.
I think it's a product.
It's
You're
a product
of your
nurturing.
environment.
Yeah.
I mean, the way you guys are looking at it is like there's no one is born evil, but no one is also born good. We're just all born.
We're just all born.
People.
Like, I mean, we'll have our primal instincts.
Okay, this brings up another point I have. Okay, so what about, let's say there were two people, right? One of them was born a healthy young boy. Let's just say boy, because why not? And the other had a mental disability. Let's say, or it's not a mental disability, it's more like a condition.
Yeah.
Right? So let's say they're a psychopath, right? You remember the difference between psychopath and sociopath, right?
And there's a psychopath, and the other one is normal or a psychopath or a sociopath.
Normal.
Okay, normal and a psychopath.
I think one of you had this point. It was like you have these two people, and they're raised completely the same, except one of them had psychopathic tendencies or sociopathic tendencies.
Well, you're doing psychopath, so he has psychopathic tendencies.
Yeah, let's do psychopaths.
Yeah.
So would they turn out the same?
It depends on like because like you're hitting me with a lot of deja vu right now. I hope you know that. But like it depends on like how they're raised.
Let's say they were raised
I
the
would
exact
say
same
no
way.
entirely because they'll both have their own unique experiences. And because the other person is a sociopath, you'll have a sociopathic experience where he have to think about other people's emotions differently than the person who's normal. So they wouldn't have the same upbringing at all. And then there's other factors to bring into that too.
It also makes me think, because like I was about to mention this, but I don't think, do you guys like think anybody is ever born neutral?
I think
like I don't think you can be. Like if you like, maybe it would depend on the genes that you were born like with, that you're are given down from your mother and father.
What do you mean by neutral?
Like by genes? What?
Yeah, because like we were talking about like if like Dante like mentioned like how we're talking about how babies are born like evil or babies are born good. We're just talking about how babies are just born.
When you say evil babies, it just makes me think of a baby with a knife.
Boss baby. No, but like neutral, like we're thinking about like neutral babies if babies are just born. So like they're just born and like they grow up in the world and they're just like, they don't understand anything we're doing.
Is it kind of like they're reactive to things?
Are they in a different culture entirely?
Yeah, like what would a neutral baby look like?
Well,
it'll probably look like Captain America when he came back, when he got out of the ice and he was in New York City. He was just looking around like, "Yo, where am I?"
You watched Captain America?
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, all right. So back to the topic. I'm thinking, let's say there's a good baby. The traits the good baby would have would be like they would do morally just things. They would donate to charities, such and such. You know, all the healthy Samaritan things, right? An evil baby, he would push his grandmother down the steps.
Sounds definitely like an evil baby.
He would antagonize animals, you know. But a neutral baby is like
a neutral baby would just like
it just
live.
exists.
Yeah, it just exists.
Yeah.
Can you like imagine? Like, have they done an experiment like that before? Like, I'm saying like but like have like people like done an experiment like where they just like get people to have a baby and then they put it in a room. They just feed it and they let it go to like use the restroom. They don't talk to it. They just let it be there.
That's not good at all.
Yeah, because babies need to be socialized.
No, you do know about like things like the hole in prison.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
You mean solitary confinement?
But I would argue that if a baby is raised that way, wouldn't they be able to wouldn't they adapt to that type of setting?
Okay, so,
no, not at all.
Okay, so my thing is,
The baby would die.
I don't think it would die.
It would die.
okay. So let's say this baby was in a room and it had everything it needed, right?
Baby society.
Stop. So
Because some babies can adapt to harsh settings, especially in third world countries.
really,
Yeah.
just like how people can like go to sleep with gunshots. Is that like it?
They even found. You heard about that tribe they discovered?
The
I can't
undisturbed tribe. The
They
undisturbed
had
tribe.
they had.
Oh, you talking about the North Sentinel Islands?
Yeah.
I'm not. Well,
No?
their toes, right?
Uh-huh.
They were wider, spread out, because these people they didn't have any shoes and they were hopping on trees and stuff, and they were like going on the ground, so their feet adapted to that type of environment. So to go to Dante's thing about like babies and like being born in that type of setting, I would think they would adapt to that type of setting.
That's like
But you gotta remember that the wide feet is probably like an evolutionary thing.
yeah, it's evolution.
So if you just push a baby out randomly and put it in a room by itself, like humans are evolved. Like the way humans work is we need social interactions.
Right.
Or
Yeah,
we'll
that's-
go like insane.
That's
So
pretty much how we learn. That's how we form language.
if you leave a baby in the room with just food in it, it won't know what eating is. It'll die.
Do you think behavior can also be a generational thing?
Behavior. Okay, so yes.
Yeah, actually.
Yes.
Each generation has its own like set of morals and
Are you
standards.
talking about the United States, like baby boomers and the greatest generation? Are you talking about that, or are you?
Sure, let's
talking
go with
about-
that as an example.
Sure.
So we'll start
I'm gonna say baby boomers.
baby
Oh, yeah, that's
boomers.
what they're called.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't that like?
This is funny.
Is it a generation before? Wait,
no,
we're
no, the generation
The
before
generation
us are the
before is-
millennials, right? 'Cause
Before
we're-
us are millennials.
Yeah.
and then that's baby boomers.
Then there's Gen X. No, there's Gen X.
Aren't we Gen X?
Everybody forget. No,
We're
everybody
Gen-
forgets about Gen X.
I don't know the generations.
Gen X are the people who were born. Let me fact check myself. Actually, no, that would be too much time. But I think they were in the 70s to
That's gonna
the
be clipped.
the
now.
70s to the 80s.
They'll leave it in.
So they grew up around video games and stuff, and like
They
yeah.
grew up like as right around the time they started getting popular and blowing up.
Mhm.
That's like late, early '80s.
all of them are famous. Well, most like not all of them.
It's like
I
early
got
'80s.
lost in
But
the
like
sauce of this conversation.
a lot of them are pretty famous and rich entrepreneurs now.
Because everything was
Which is weird because
Here's the
like
thing.
this
Everything-
generation was accused of being the laziest bunch.
yet.
They always call every generation the
Yeah.
laziest.
Yeah,
Especially
that's what
the-
happens.
Right now
I
it's
think
the
every
millennials.
generation above, like the generation hates that generation below.
Yeah.
For no reason.
I mean, I'm not gonna hate Generation Alpha.
Do we hate
Just-
the next generation?
Just like how like every person born with like within 1999 to 2002 hates every Fortnite kid.
I'm envious. Those Generation Alpha, they're being born with like knowing how to code a website and stuff, like make their own
I'm
games.
just jealous of like the kids that like had parents that like actually pushed them into things, because like I didn't have parents that like pushed me into like doing like stuff.
I mean, that gets dangerous too, cause like child prodigies, like you get your kid to learn something at a really early age, and then when they grow up, they're like, man, I don't want to do this crap anymore. But sometimes it's beneficial too. So
In
it
what
goes
way?
Put
two
that
way.
thought in my head. I never thought about it like that.
What?
Like just like how a child prodigy must like hate, like if like they were born playing piano, like they must hate playing piano. And I was like, I didn't know.
Do you think
I never
Mozart
thought-
hated playing piano, or did he just like, haha, I'm flexing on
I
you?
mean, I'm
Like,
sure there's little
flexing on
controversy
people to
there.
see. No way, he wasn't blind. No,
No, that was
No, that
Beethoven.
was
That was Beethoven.
He was
Beethoven
deaf.
was
Beethoven was
blind.
faking it.
Wait, yeah.
He was deaf.
He wasn't deaf, bro. He could hear us.
He could feel vibrations.
That man was lying.
Huh?
Lying about what?
He was lying about being deaf.
How?
The man wasn't actually
All right,
deaf.
so you were going to use, just to hop back on topic, you were going to use generations as an example, correct?
Yeah.
So off
Do
topic.
you have facts now? You can like fact check me.
Yeah, I do.
It's gonna be a debate right now.
It's not going to be a debate. I'm not. Yeah, it's not going to be a debate.
You talking? What you guys stop for?
Because we're
Why are you
talking.
guys whispering?
This literature stuff. Like we started talking about literature, and now we're talking about boomers.
We're definitely cutting that out.
We definitely went off topic. We were talking about.
No, we
books.
were talking about the whole idea of what we were talking about when generations was nature and nurture. And he was using generations as an example of people being born, of people having generation. What was it? Can behavior be evolved?
Mhm.
Oh yeah. The
Yeah.
progression of behavior throughout the generations.
Like, say a set of people. I don't think it can.
Can it? Oh, it
You
depends.
you and Stephone were making the argument that it could be.
All right, so here's my thing, right? So you have the 18, let's say the 1800s, because everyone knows the 1800s.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have
The
pretty.
plague.
Besides the plague.
I got a perfect argument of how behavior can't be.
So typically, when you think of like the 1800s, you think of like people being like exquisite and polite.
I think of the
Right.
plague.
You mean the plague?
Think about the Black Death.
They're exquisite. You know, they're like.
Was that like the Renaissance or no?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's around that time. I don't know.
It'd be like that.
And then you have like the let's say 20s, 1920s. Yeah, that's a good time. So, you have like all these gangs in New York.
Gang.
No.
In New York? Wait,
I
in
don't
the
know.
1800s?
You
What?
said 1920s.
Oh, 1920s. Oh, yes, you were right. Yeah.
Typically, when you think of like the 1920s, you think of like when you think of youth in the 1920s.
Stephone's voice scared
Yeah,
me.
that was definitely not the resonance.
Resonance.
I said, "Oh no," and I thought someone was right here.
Oh no. You
But-
typically think of like people who are rebellious,
Right.
and then as time goes on,
You said the 20s?
The 1920s?
I'm thinking of a certain time period. I can't figure it out.
Confused.
Are you talking about the
I think you're thinking about the 1950s with the hippie movement.
No.
Are you talking about the greasers?
Yes. The
Wait.
guys in black leather jackets snapping in alleyways.
Those are
I am not knowledgeable about that.
Whatever time period West Side Story is, that's what I'm thinking of.
Here,
It's not even West Side Story.
I'll give you guys. I'll give you the guys. To
Doesn't West Side Story end with them like driving a car to the sunset?
I think
Okay, so
That's Greaser.
just to
No,
fact check,
Grease?
just
Yeah.
Are you thinking about Grease or West Side Story?
yeah, just to fact check real quick.
Yeah.
The Greasers are a youth subculture that was popularized in the late 1940s and
Okay.
the 1950s to 1960s.
Every time I hear like those 3 decades, I think of like people in grease jackets just snapping in alleyways.
So there were predominantly working class and lower class teenagers and young adults in the United States, and they kind of look like bad boys, you know, like the people who would take your lunch money.
I wouldn't give my lunch money to anyone with that much hair gel.
You got enough.
But what was your point, Michai?
My point is that certain behaviors are emphasized by the current time. So you have all these norms that are okay for that time, and like the generation after that might think, hey, you know,
That's stupid.
yeah. And the generation before
That goes
that,
against your argument, though.
It's kind of happening
forgot my
right
argument,
now.
honestly.
It's
I like
like
when-
if we're like arguing like if behavior is like learned, like you know, is that what we're arguing?
No, so
It's like what we're.
I asked if behavior can
Be influenced by
No.
generations?
Can it be evolved?
Evolve. Like, does it come with the baby? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think that's. I don't
I
think
mean,
so.
I
mean-
think the generation can influence the baby.
Yeah, it can
to, like,
influence the
behavior
baby
to
when it's
change.
growing up, but can the baby be born with that? I don't think so, because babies still need to be potty trained, and they wouldn't if behavior can be evolved, right? And behavior can come with the kid, and the kid knows certain things to do, then the kid would know how to take a poop.
I think the only thing kids
think
come
why I
out
have my
knowing is like basic survival stuff, like walking and stuff.
Right.
Like I think all behavior is pretty much learned.
I think like primal instincts. I think that can be evolved to a degree, but
there are like certain survival instincts that people are like born knowing.
yeah.
Like, okay.
Like
so,
dying bad.
yeah, obviously.
Like dying bad. Everyone knows that.
Okay,
Dying
but there's
Plus,
this.
there's certain things your body knows too. Like when you die, your brain just stops. First, your brain releases certain chemicals, and then your brain just stops working.
Do you think our body's like dying bad or pain bad?
Pain that.
Pain bad.
Because pain is just like a way of like, hey,
Pain
don't touch
hurt.
that.
Can you both like explain those terms?
What, pain bad?
You
Yeah.
get frustrated.
All right,
No,
so-
I
okay,
just don't understand
Okay,
that.
first of all,
Okay,
all
like when you touch a stove, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you immediately yank away without thinking about
Right.
it. That's your brain going pain bad.
It's
Right.
it's like a reflex. Like if you get hurt, you want to move away from that object, or
Right.
you want to stop the pain. So there's another thing that's like a survival instinct, which is if you stand under let's say you're in the shower, right? And you stand under the water. If the water goes over your face, you instinctively hold your breath.
I do that.
Oh yeah. And there's also
open.
flight or fight. Flight or fight.
Give me this.
Fight or flight.
Yeah.
Fight or flight is like, it's a natural response, right?
Yeah, it's a natural response as
There's
well.
a third one. There's freeze.
Freeze. Oh yeah, freeze.
I hate freeze.
I hate freeze.
I want to get away or like fight back. And
I
just,
think
like,
I had like an
fear.
experience where I froze. Like, there was like an experience like where I was like walking to like I was walking in this shirt. I was walking to like Green Cafe from my house, and I was like walking past like the Aldi's, and like some kids or like some guys were just like, hey, you're young boy, come over here.
Those
and, like,
that's slang, by the way.
Yep. For who?
For the audience.
Explain that to.
The audience.
Hello, other people outside of West Philly. Like I walk up to them, and I don't know why. And then like they were like, "Hey, you got anything on you?" Like basically, they almost robbed me.
They're talking to you.
And like, I had a million things happen in my mind. Fight or flight. My fight was kicking in, and I was about to start swinging, but I was frozen. It was like, what do you mean, money?
Well,
you know? Like, you know.
Once your thoughts start racing your mind, then you're frozen. Because when you're in fight or flight, you don't think about that. You just either fight or run away.
I just made myself sound like such a loser.
Yeah.
Like,
So when you're thinking stuff, like when million thoughts go through your head, then that's you're frozen.
Your brain doesn't know which one to do, so it does
Yeah.
nothing.
like that.
You either do
You
nothing.
can't see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. Like that thing I'm pointing at right now. Can't
You're
you
not
guys see
pointing
it?
Look at what I'm holding in my hands. For all the podcast viewers, that's what I'm doing.
Get it? Because you can't see us.
But I kind of wanted to like move on into like a topic that like we can all jump in on because like I know it's been like affecting all of us recently, and it's like college.
Senioritis.
College.
Yeah, senioritis in college. Like I know you guys see senioritis is like hitting me hard, but like have you guys like how's it been hitting you?
So I've been coming like this year has been the worst in terms of attendance for me.
Yeah.
Like
Really?
I found it hard to come to school because like
Is that why you're late?
No, he had a doctor's
I
appointment.
had a doctor's appointment
No,
today.
like all the time. It's
Oh.
like you've been like
Yeah, I've been late a few times
I'm
now.
late like every day.
every day, yeah, all week.
On blast. But anyway, but yeah,
Consistently.
it's just been like it's been affecting me. It hasn't been affecting me in terms of work and productivity. I still get a few things done here and there.
Like this.
Yeah,
Like this right now.
but it's just been affecting me on like just like finding the dedication to still come to school because I have all these ideas in my mind. Like I have ideas of entrepreneurship, then I have ideas of college and what I'm going to major in. And then I'm also thinking about the schoolwork and college work because I take college courses. So it's like, do I really need to, make advisory?
Yeah. Like, what's the point of that? You know? What are
Right,
we
when I
doing
get,
there?
right.
I think that you should still come to school on time because even if you don't think so,
Right. It's great.
there might be something worth value in coming to school still.
Plus,
So you might.
there's that habit. Sorry for cutting you off.
Oh, sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
Actually,
Sorry for cutting you off.
yeah, that habit thing is really working for me. It's
What
like,
habit thing?
What?
this year I started coming to school every day on time, and now my body is waking itself up at like 7 a.m. by itself.
Right.
My body used to do that because like I had alarms set for 6 o'clock every day, and like I used to. Now I'm like even though I don't have alarms going, I'm like set to wake up at 6 o'clock specifically, even though I don't get there on time.
I still set alarms because I don't trust myself.
I
Yeah.
have an alarm set still, but I always wake up before my alarm. Like I beat you.
Every time I go
got
to
you,
sleep, I wake up thinking, I'm getting too much sleep right now, and then it's 7 o'clock.
It's like, bro, that felt too good. Wake right
This
up.
morning I had the feeling I was getting too much sleep, but it turns out I wasn't.
Oh,
I woke up at like 5 a.m. and I laid back down and I was like, I've been in bed for a while, and it was 6:30, and I was like, hold up.
wait a second.
Hold up, wait a minute. No, but like, has it been like, Has it like been hitting you like in terms of like your work progression, Dante?
The senioritis.
Yeah, senioritis. Oh yeah, by the way, senioritis is like, you guys know how to define senioritis for like the
Sure, I
When
can.
seniors get near the end of the year, they get the attitude of I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes.
That's basically it.
Well, yeah.
It hasn't really been hitting me that hard, but we had a blog due on Friday, and I only finished it today.
I
It was
still
a
haven't
Tuesday.
finished that.
I finished my second blog. I'm gonna do a third one tomorrow. I'm gonna write all of it.
The
'Cause-
second one was due last Friday.
Yeah,
The second one?
yeah, the second one.
Why didn't
You're
he?
hitting right now.
I didn't. He didn't even.
He did.
When?
He said, "Oh my god!" And
He told us. He said that there's a blog due like every week.
Yeah, he said every Friday.
Oh,
and I
every
forgot.
week.
"Oh, it's every Friday."
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no!
Oh god.
I'm the only one doing the blogs.
Well, I did the first blog. I blew that one out of the water. I wasn't aware of that due date.
But this schoolwork is like it's
It's light.
it's light, yes, but
Yeah.
focusing on it is an issue because you
Because
Our
of
classmates
CCP.
like screaming.
yes, that's an issue because it has like
It's always loud in our
it is
every day.
That's a problem with public
cousin.
schools.
public school, right?
All right.
Whenever I try to do my work, there's like some noise in the back of my head, and it's just like, huh, I should look over there, and then
Yeah, it's
I
like
I don't
it's
get
that-
work done.
I remember one time I actually got so much work done. Is when like Stephone brought the noise canceling headphones in the room, and I put my earphones on underneath the headphones, and I turned music up all the way. It was like Animal Farm, not Animal Farm.
It was Animal Crossing.
Yeah, Animal Crossing music, and I was blasting it in my ears, and that's all I could hear, and I got so much work done that day.
Why don't
Yeah.
you do that every time now?
Because I don't know what a noise canceling
I'll
headphones
bring them in
were.
tomorrow. No, yeah,
You
tomorrow
have-
for you.
Okay, do that.
But like, oh man, but like, it's what Michai said for me. It's like, like, okay, it's that I hear like people in the classroom in the back of my head, and like the thought process is like this, like, oh, it's so loud in here. Okay, I'm gonna just like listen to some music and like get my mind off of this. And then I browse YouTube for like 10 minutes, like looking for like the right song to put on that I won't sing to and I won't be distracted by. So like just 10 minutes of looking for that, and then like 10 minutes of me looking at the screen like which project should I work on right now? It's like, oh man, I don't feel like doing this one. I can do that one later. I can do that one later. And it's just
Right.
like a process. It
You should play
sucks.
Animal Crossing music.
So, like, what are some of the steps you guys have done, all of you, to lessen senioritis or to combat it?
Release the stress of senioritis. There was one point where my senioritis hit me so hard I wanted to leave my college class.
Mm-hmm.
I told you about
What you
it.
guys are technically doing. You want to talk about that?
No, I'm not technically doing it.
You are doing it.
No, it's not. Well, I'm going on Wednesday.
Yeah, because boy gave you a pass.
Wait.
To do so, didn't
You have 2 more classes left, don't you?
Yeah.
No, wait. Depends on what day it is. I forgot.
he? You guys want to explain what's going on right now? Okay, so
Okay,
we're in high school.
Hi.
But we're also dual enrolled in CCP, Community College of Philadelphia. And right now we're just talking about the classes, and like these people are stressed.
So, are we not talking about senioritis?
Yeah, we are. We're talking about like how the senioritis is affecting your college.
Oh, hard.
College class,
Like
yeah.
a truck.
Yeah.
But
You go
also like what's going on with you two in college? Right
Joseph, you can go first.
I can go first.
Yeah.
All right. So just to give some background story. So, in my first 2 years of the school I'm going to, I did exceptionally well. My 10th grade year was my best year for me. I had all A's, and I had a 3.11 GPA. I can't remember, but it was in the high 3-point range. So I was B average student because of the 9th grade, and so I was doing very well. And then came 11th grade, which is when we all pick what we're going to be doing for our upper class years.
Called the Gateway Program.
Right, it's called the Gateway, and you either pick internships, which is like you get to work with a job or intern as an intern.
Yeah, you get to work at a site, which relates to your interest in a career. Fun fact, my internship experience was at Kelly's Writer House, where we are recording right now.
Hello,
Right.
everybody.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Hi.
But yeah, and then there's the other one. There's auto body, where people work on cars and things related to
Mechanic stuff.
mechanics, and yeah, and then there's college courses. College courses is what I chose to do because I wanted to get that experience for college. I didn't want to get culture shocked, and I really liked the tips they gave they helped us get scholarships and stuff like that. Well, not really. Actually, not really. They didn't really give that much help, but they gave us that experience when it came to dealing with college courses and professors. So my first year, I did good and bad. I didn't do good in the first class because it was math, and like I wasn't used to that level of work. But then I got used to it, and when it came to English 101, I knocked that out of the water with 2 A's. And English 101 and 108, and the thing with the workshop school is that every year it seemed like something changed, and like I never got able to adapt to it. So here came 12th grade year, and we have like trimesters and stuff. Things changed, the curriculum changed.
Yeah, that's the biggest change we've seen in this school.
Last
I feel
year,
like for us, right?
Yeah.
For all of us. Yeah,
last year we didn't have seminars with our college courses. If you took college courses, that was basically what you were taking in the school. This year we were, so I had to balance both biology with college courses, and biology itself is easy, but some of the work I was getting, I've been pushing it aside to do like other stuff like college courses, or I've been pushing that aside to do schoolwork, and that was mistake number one for me, prioritizing. I did a horrible job at it. For the first year, I wasn't doing a bad job at it because I really liked sociology, which was the college course I took this year.
Yeah, you and Dante?
Yeah, I got an A with it, and I think some of the reasons why I was so great at that class is because I had Dante with me, smart friend here who helped me out.
Shout out to Dante.
Yeah.
Hi, Dante.
Who helped me out sometimes.
I'm sitting right here.
Yeah, we don't gotta shout you out. But yeah, he helped me out. I helped him out, and there was other people in there, cool people.
I would have failed if it wasn't for Joseph.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he helped me study.
Oh.
Yeah, we helped each other. And
I saw them in class doing it together.
Same, because I sit right next to Dante.
So I did good in that college course. I didn't really get stressed. I was more so stressed about college at that point because I had no idea what FAFSA was and all that stuff.
Yeah, like actual college.
Yeah. So I was more so dealing with that. And then came I believe, third trimester, this trimester. And half of second, I started taking English 102.
Yes.
Yes, it's the third trimester.
I started taking English 102, and I'll speed up this story a little bit.
You're fine.
So at first, I thought English 102 was going to be...
Cake.
Not cake. I knew it was going to be difficult, but I was expecting it because I love English. I love English. I love writing. And English 102 is all about research papers. Now... I think I was a little too over my head with this one because I was never good at research papers. But I am good at researching, so it's weird. But I'm not good when it comes to, you have to write this essay, research this topic, get an annotated bibliography, and then import all of that information into this essay. And yes, I'm going to give you a word limit. And it's like, man.
You had a word limit?
Yeah, I got a word max and a word limit.
That's the
worst
worst part
man.
about it.
What? You had to get in between two?
Yes, I got to get in between. And then my professor isn't good, man. Like his style of not saying he's not a good teacher, but his style of teaching doesn't mesh well with my style of learning.
You're in the class with Tatiana, right?
Yeah, and they're all doing bad too. So it's not just me.
I think he's a bad teacher.
I don't know. Like I don't like dissing people like that. Maybe he is a good teacher to certain people, but just not for me.
No,
he's just not for me.
If you have like your whole class failing, then it's not your class that's doing bad. It's you.
Somebody gonna go up to the dean, bro.
I just feel like
a couple words.
Like the class itself has been making me doubt my skills. Has been really affecting my self-esteem. And not only that, it was because here's some of the things I did wrong. When I came into that class, I felt like I wasn't focused. Like I was dealing with college, rolling into college, and I was dealing with FAFSA, which is part of college, and I was also dealing with school because my second trimester I slacked off a little bit, and I was like, I'm not going to slack anymore. So I started putting more priority with schoolwork, which in hindsight I shouldn't have done completely because there were some things that I misprioritized. And with that said, the thing I did wrong was that I would get an English 102 assignment and a due date, and I would push that aside to do a classwork that was probably due like 4 weeks later. But because I found it better for I I felt that I should have done the schoolwork more because it was more fun. I should have done that English 102 work, and that affected me. That affects me now because I built this habit where I would not do where I would look at English 102 work and ascribe it to bad feelings, right? Yeah. And that built a nasty habit for me. And that's where I am now. And the reason why I decided not to come anymore is because, okay, this probably gonna make me look bad, but I don't care. So I originally told my teacher that I didn't want to do this English 102 class anymore. And this was way back in the first beginnings of the year because I already knew what was going to happen because of how the teacher taught. So I was like, no, I don't want to do this course. And then they were just like, come on, Joseph, you can do it. You know, that stuff. They didn't even bother to have a full conversation with me. So I was just like, no, that wasn't Reagan. That was the second time. This was the first. It was with Dr. Miller and Miss Joanna in the classroom. They just like, you can, like, come on, Joseph, you got this. And that was it. Like, and they didn't sit me down. They didn't even, and like, I was like, okay, then I'll try my hardest, right? I'll try my hardest. And then I stayed there, and then it got even worse now. Like, I'm not doing too well in the class. I turned things in, but I guess it didn't reach the teacher's expectations. So I'm doing poorly now. And then I come back, I'm like, come on, Dr. Miller, Miss Joanne. And then I sat down with Reagan this time. I was like, guys, we got to do, like, I got to get out this class. And then Tatiana was there too. And the thing is, we could have dropped that class because the teacher had it right on the board. It said April 6th is when you get to drop the class. It's 16th now, but that was way back then. He was like, you can drop the class and you'll receive a W grade. And like,
W grade?
It's like a nothing grade. Like you withdrew from the class.
Oh,
so you don't fail.
How would have been a W?
Right.
You could have won.
I know. So I told them about that. They were like, come on, Joseph, you got it. And then they were like, we paid for this class. And it was like, I looked how much they paid for. I'm like, come on, man. My mom could pay that for you guys. I was like, no, you got to do this. And then like, at that point, it was, the other people were failing with me.
To continue in the class.
Yeah, other people were failing with me, right? And they just tried. That was when Tatiana and Yane were failing also with me. Mm-hmm. These are classmates, by the way, for anybody who doesn't know. So
I feel like it would have like, it feels like weird because like if like how many people are like in the class that you know are struggling? Like
I even have friends. I made friends at that class, and they're all struggling as well.
Would it be even right for your professor to like fail you all if like everybody in the class is struggling?
I'm not sure, because certain universities, certain colleges have like the curve where they like grade people based on who did the, like if everybody failed the test, they would all pass, like that type of grading. If they all did at the same, they all like scored at the same level, they would pass. What's the specific term for that?
Bell curve.
Yeah, the bell curve.
I hate
but
that.
I don't know if CCP does that. I assume they don't, cause
that would be really wild.
Yeah, that would be wild. Yeah, people will be walking around like, yo, you gotta not pass this test so we can all pass. But anyway,
please don't.
Everyone
where was
fail.
I kind of lost my train of thought. Okay, so I was talking about, so this was the second meeting, right? So I came to them, I told them everything. I was like, I can't handle this course anymore. I already did what y'all did in the beginning. I plowed through this course and it was to no avail. And they told me that, dude, you just can't get an F in this class, just get a D. Just try your hardest. College is going to be tougher, whatever they said. And like, you got to deal with this. You got to build grit. So I was like, all right, man, I'll build grit. I'll do whatever, man. I'm not feeling this course. This course is not good on my mental. Like, I'm more stressed out than ever at this point. Like, this was one of my worst. That was the second time I met with them. I was in a really bad mental state at that time.
Does Joanna and Reagan know that you dropped the class?
No.
You didn't drop it, but like you stopped going?
I stopped going.
Do they know that?
No, they don't know that. So I'll get into that point. So third, right? So at this point, I'm really not handling this class at all. I'm still not doing better. And I even, I did I did SA2, right? Mm-hmm. I reached the requirements. I reached the maximum. I did well. I had all the quotes in there. I got a good grade on it. And then like midterms came in for the midterm grade, and I still had an F somehow. even though I had a good annotated bibliography that was worth 500 points, I had a good essay, which was worth 500 points, and then I see my grade, and it's like, my grade is 1,000 something, but it still reads F. And I'm like, what is this man's grading system? And I look at his syllabus, and his grading system is really high. And
Wait, really?
That's when I lost motivation completely.
This man's smoking. Like, I don't, cause like what I'm thinking is
let's not disrespect him though, cause like I don't know.
But I feel like if all your if your students are really like you said, everyone in the class is having a bad time, right?
I'm sure there's like 2 or 3 students who are excelling.
Yeah, but still, like everyone in your class is not doing well, then it's not the class that's not okay. It's kind of like the teaching method that's not okay.
Yeah,
like because it's either that or like that you need to like. Okay, I feel like you have to be really experienced going into those classes because, like, there's like it's asking for a lot from you specifically.
Yeah.
Oh, that was you. So.
Yeah.
Don't worry, man. My man's taking a sip of H2O. Delirious.
Go ahead. Hydrogen monoxide.
You're saying you're taking a sip of water, so now you got to do it very quickly.
I already did it.
You did?
Yes.
I didn't see.
Flash.
Back to the topic.
How you guys doing in this year?
So yeah, Michai, it's your turn.
I'm doing awful.
Can I go next?
So yeah, stop going.
Nice.
Can I go next?
Okay, so how I'm doing in my class. Wait,
I
now?
thought it was Michai.
No,
I thought you wanted to put us on the hot seat real quick.
I did because y'all both stopped going to class.
Oh no, I stopped going for 2 days because things. Are you going now or am I going now?
Do you want to go now?
Let's play rock paper scissors.
After you.
No. Do you want to go now or not?
Let's play rock paper scissors.
I'm not playing rock paper scissors. Do
It's
you
the
want
only way
to
to decide.
Say yes or no.
Rock paper scissors.
Oh yeah, by the way, guys, the reason I'm not going anymore is because, okay, so one of the things my college professors did is they said that I couldn't drop the class because I didn't have if I dropped that class I wouldn't graduate because I wouldn't have enough English credits, right? That was a lie.
That was an entire lie.
I went on my student, and I think they did that because they wanted me to like do good in that class.
What a scare tactic. That's a scare tactic.
So I looked it up on SchoolNet. I looked up the credits I needed, and I actually had way more than enough credits to graduate. I had all my English credits.
Do you think are you guys scared that like if we fail these classes that you're gonna drop the credits hard?
I don't think they can take credits away. No.
Can they?
The thing, if you fail a CCP class, you get a grade for it, and you also get a grade for the seminar. So that's a double F.
I thought it counted as the seminar grade.
It counts as 2 seminar grades.
I took 2 English classes last year, and 3 if you're counting 9th and 10th grade. Yeah. And I did well in all English classes because I'm good in English. So I got 2. So last year that was 3. That should be 4 A's. 4 A's in counting. If we're going by the double A, so I have more than enough credits. So I'm still graduating, and I didn't like that she lied to me like that.
Yikes!
You should like ask her about it. Still, you know, because like that may be like something that we don't understand. But I'm gonna make. I asked Dr. Miller if I'm still graduating. He even said yes, so he confirmed it. So I ran it through a teacher. I didn't just like. I'm not just a student who went on SchoolNet and be like, oh yeah, I don't have to do this. No, I did I consulted with the teachers. I double checked through them.
He did his research.
Guys.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Dante, you can go since you don't want to play rock paper scissors.
Michai. Anyway. Honestly, I feel like 12th grade year is my best year school-wise.
Look at this man. Let's give him a round of applause.
Why are you clapping?
Why are we clapping? Wait, why?
Because this is all our worst years. Like,
we're all.
Well, yeah, this is my worst year.
Falling from grace.
I mean, for the years before, all I got were like B's and C's. Like I got A's occasionally, but mostly B's. And this year, I'm getting A's. I'm doing really well somehow.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Like
Dante
even in the remember that what was that project we all hated?
Oh, Escape Room?
No, the Venezuela one.
UN project.
The UN project.
I love that project. I still love it.
What?
I hate that project.
I always loved that project.
That was trash.
I love the conversations we had with it.
I don't like that project.
What conversations
were you there for the UN conference, the mock debate?
No.
No,
You missed out heavily. We had Venezuelan food.
Yeah, we had
Okay.
food. I thought honestly like it was like near the end of the quarter, right? And I was like, oh, I must be doing terrible in this project because I felt like I was doing bad. And I went over to Dr. Miller and I checked my grade and I had a high B, had like 89, and I was like, how did I get that?
I don't know how, like I don't know if I passed that because like I didn't do anything for that project.
Explain.
Because like the thing is, I was like even though like my college course, I really enjoyed it. With I'm not gonna say the professor's name, but my professor, like I really liked my professor. He was a funny guy and like he was really supportive. We talked a lot about my grades and stuff. I was still struggling really hard in that class because like I don't think I had to work that hard on essays. And that project, like the Venezuelan project, was the most demanding thing like the school had me do, and I don't know why. Like, cause we had to like, okay, we had to do like presentations. We had to like research like little like articles about out like our country, and I think I had Japan, and like Japan should be like eventful, and I couldn't find anything that was happening like 1 week. There was nothing happening in Japan, which sounds like the strangest thing ever.
I think you could just choose any article. Like one of my articles is like, I was doing Ireland, right? And I'm pretty sure one of my articles was just about like them changing some driver's license law, and it wasn't even Ireland. It was in like Europe. It was like, and it might affect Ireland.
Yeah, I think like around the Venezuelan project though, like senioritis was like really hitting me hard, especially because like you guys could tell like even though like I wanted to stop coming to school, but I didn't want to like actually stop coming to school, and I kind of showed it in the way that I dressed.
Really?
And I kind of still showed it in a bit because like every day without fail, I would come wearing my uniform shirt. I don't wear my uniform shirt anymore.
You're not wearing one now.
I'm done.
I don't wear it either. That's an interesting point.
I still wear mine. School loyalty.
I wore mine. I still have my uniform shirts from 9th grade. Honestly, I still have the bright green ones.
I have one too.
Awful. But like you guys just get, like you guys notice like, and I noticed like because like I sometimes I forget, and then like the principal would like say, "Where's your uniform shirt?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah, those
like,
exist.
I would come in exhausted, tired. I would like try to get to sleep early, but I would still be up trying to like force myself to do this work, and I would have no like no want or need to do the work.
Right.
Even though I actually did need it to. And like I don't know, man. The whole like the thing wasn't interesting, and that shouldn't be an excuse, to be honest. Like I should like still do it even if it's not interesting. Sucks. Like that. Okay, that period of time, like just doing the Venezuelan project, that was the worst project ever, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. Like it sucked.
I hated it from the start. We had that presentation.
Yeah, like
Remember,
it was nice to like hear all the stuff about the Kings and stuff, but it was still sucked.
It was exciting because like I was like, hey, a new project, UN project. Oh no.
Dante
Yeah, I was like,
you guys are all hateful right now.
No, remember when the project first began, and like you said, the UN project, we all get to choose our countries, and we all get to. And I was like, wow, this project sounds cool.
Yes.
And every project that sounds cool turns out being lame.
It wasn't lame. Okay, you guys are all...
No, listen, every project that sounds cool...
Go ahead, defend your favorite project, Joseph.
It's like, remember C-SPAN? Doesn't C-SPAN sound cool in
C-SPAN never sounded cool.
Like, you get to make your own documentary. Don't you want to do that? That sounds cool on paper. And then when you go out and you actually do it, it's like... This isn't fun.
Nah, bro.
In terms of me and how I'm doing this school year, this is how we're going to do it right now. I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna move on to the next topic. Boom.
Actually, no. I want us to talk. I want us to give value too.
I finished my.
I want us to explain what are some of the things we could have done that would benefit our experience, and what are some of the things we could have. Well, that's the same thing. Give them some like, some tips and stuff.
I have something for that.
Okay, fine.
But let's let Michai go.
All right. In terms of CCP in my college class. It was good at first. I was thinking like, hey, I'm doing pretty well in this. I don't have any reason to, like worry. And I think I got a C without even noticing because, like there was a bunch of things with like how my professor taught and how she practically never explained anything. So it was very confusing. whenever we had an assignment and I wouldn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
What do you?
What? Keep going.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I wanted to retake the class, so I did. I'm retaking the class currently. And
I got a question. Be honest with us.
I'm not finished.
I got a question. I'm sorry. Be honest with us. Did you fail that class?
No,
Okay.
I got a high C and I wanted to retake it.
All right.
So you lying to us?
It wasn't a live. Whatever. Back to the topic.
Catch it on a podcast.
Awkward silence. So back to the topic at hand. I'm retaking the class currently, and there's a bunch of things that I'm dealing with, and it's affecting me in the class. So what's happening is, lately I've been having a bunch of social anxiety outbursts.
Yeah.
Like, I can't talk to certain people, or I need to be within the group to move places. Like, I don't enjoy being around people I don't converse with or know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird for me to come back to a place where I know some people and I don't know others. So with my class, I have two juniors. Like, there's Tiara and other guy. Tiara and other guy.
You don't gotta give their names.
I don't know. I'm doing it because
Bleep.
You have bleep and bleep.
Bleep and bloop.
Can we get a little bleep going in the chat?
I mean, I gave names, but
I don't know. So we have these two sophomores, and I don't talk to them. I have them in my chemistry class, but that's about it. And then I have a bunch of other people who have better things to do than talk to me. So I don't really want to talk to them, and it's an issue because I need to get feedback on my work to make sure I know what I'm doing right.
What kind of work are you doing in your class?
English.
We just finished an essay 3, and I wasn't confident about that at all. There's been an essay where I wasn't confident about anything I wrote, and I did, yeah.
Did you?
Yes.
What? Why didn't you ask
I
us
wasn't.
for it?
I wasn't. I wrote an essay and I didn't like it. I hated it. I hated everything about it. And I wanted to redo it, and I wiped it, and I forgot to. I forgot that the due date was the day I did it, and it was too late for me to go back and write the whole thing again.
You picked it out of the trash.
Do you think the issue with like essay writing for you is like trying to be a perfectionist? Like, are you always striving to like, you know?
A little bit, yes. But it's also an issue because I have like, well, Stephone knows this, but I have major self-doubt issues. So I don't like anything I produce.
I remember like how like I was jokingly. It sounded like I was jokingly talking to you, but I was being deeply serious about.
Were you?
Like,
About what?
Like when we were playing this game, and I kept asking you like this game, vulnerability is sexy. I kept asking you the questions from the box. And, like, you kept giving me these answers, and I'm like, come on, bro.
I was being serious. So
I know you were being serious. I was being serious too.
About the game is called Vulnerability is Sexy. I don't know where you can get it, but it's fun.
This is not a sponsor, by the way.
We're not sponsored. We should be.
No, we agreed to have a non-profit podcast.
But the game is called Vulnerability is Sexy.
You agreed to be non-profit? When? I don't want to profit.
Back to me explaining
the game.
Anyway, the game. So it's about it's a bunch of questions, and they have different topics like break the ice or get vulnerable, and they also have like some lighthearted ones like laugh, which aren't funny. But
that's disrespectful.
They have these cards, and you're supposed to play them with your friends.
Yeah.
If you have any, and you're supposed to answer questions.
I mean, you could play them with yourself.
It's kind of boring.
I mean, you could play
get
with
to
yourself,
know
honestly.
Get to know yourself better.
Help you question yourself.
What was your childhood role model, and why did you admire him or her?
I mean,
I admired God. Went to church a
Really?
lot.
Really?
Yeah,
That's surprising, honestly.
I wanted to be him.
Anyway.
Of course you did.
Well, yeah, Michai.
Yeah, so my class, it's been rough because a few days ago on Friday. Yes, Friday. Friday. No, it was Friday. No, last Wednesday. Yes. Last Wednesday, I was in class, business as usual. And I remember that I didn't turn in an assignment, and I felt really, really bad about that. Out of the blue.
Which assignment was it?
It was. It wasn't an essay. It was like something lighthearted, but we needed it for the essay. I think it was an annotated bibliography, and I turned that in late. But we had this assignment, and I felt bad because I didn't do it, and we have to be in pairs discussing the assignment I didn't do.
Oh, I see.
Oh shit! Oh.
And I had a major like panic attack because I didn't have this assignment done, and I needed to do it, and I kind of wanted to walk out because I wanted to just leave the classroom and just go home. And I almost did, but I was like, that's not professional, and I stayed. And I wanted to cry when I got home.
Wasn't that when we all met up?
No.
Because I remember you.
Was it?
Yeah, I was in the cafeteria. That was when
yes, it was.
Yeah,
and I told you about it. And I told you I had an awful class.
Yeah.
Class sucked ass.
I don't want to go back there because now I have the shame of not going to a class, and people are like, "Hey, you weren't at last class."
Do you have any relationship with your professor?
No.
Oh, that's an issue.
Yeah.
That's an L.
That's I did the same thing, honestly. I
only talked to my professor if I needed something.
My professor knew me. We just like, hey, what's up, man? Like, yeah, we cool. But like, I think my new professor, James,
Don't.
I'm not gonna say his last name. James likes me, but we're not cool like that, and it's a problem because like this is a beginner's class for what I'm going for, and
You do music, right?
Yeah, do music, doing the production thing.
Do music.
But like I didn't even learn anything because like everybody, like I was the only beginner there.
Oh, like freshie.
Yeah,
like,
I was like
noob.
fresh into the music thing. This man was like everybody was talking about like they had everybody in there at least had one beat. I have nothing.
Oh.
I got chicken scraps.
Well, you do.
I don't have any beats.
Yes, you do. Right?
Nothing that like actually makes any sense.
Oh.
Like everybody in there had an understanding of like digital electronic music and like making it and stuff.
Are you sure everybody there had it, or is that your brain talking?
No, it really was everybody there. Like even the person that I went with, Clayton, like that man has a studio.
My brain talked to me like that.
Yeah, my brain talks to me like that too. Like, oh, everybody's passing.
I mean, like, I'm pretty sure not everybody in there was passing, but I know everybody, like, in there had more experience than me.
Sometimes I feel like everyone's passing but me.
Yeah.
I think that's common with, like, us three.
I just realized this podcast got really sad.
Yeah.
Like, this is all depressing.
I think we all need to work on our something self-esteem related. Yeah. And also... let's see, remember the blog things we were talking about earlier?
Oh, yeah, that.
I wrote about, like, the 9 types of intelligences, and one of the types is, like, interpersonal.
Oh, yeah, I know about that.
And it's, like, knowing what you want and knowing how to motivate yourself. And I think you all need to, like, work on your interpersonal intelligence.
Yeah, let's start giving advice and what we would do better.
Alright, so here's what I have for everybody out here. Here's some advice for you, viewer.
Yeah. Yeah, great advice.
Yeah.
I got some advice, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Don't do what he did.
I'm not, don't worry. So me and Joseph were in sociology, right?
Uh-huh.
And I think it was Joseph who sat next to... No, it was me. No, I sat next to this guy, and this guy sat next to this girl whose name was, like, Bayonetta or something.
Bayonetta.
Something like that.
You mean Ruby?
No. What?
Bayonetta.
Just name dropping everybody on this podcast. Is this okay?
It's okay if we say their first name, because you can't really tell who it is by first name only.
Yeah.
So
I'm just gonna call her. Think about every name we said as Kevin.
I don't know her name. I'm gonna call her Bayonetta.
From now on, everybody's Jane Doe and John Doe.
I'm gonna call her Bayonetta.
Anonymous 1 and 2.
Yes, very. She was like always ready to ask a question whenever she didn't understand something,
right.
And like honestly, that like spoke to me. That motivated me. Honestly, like now I feel like I'm gonna get into like next year in college. If I'm ever struggling, I'm not gonna hesitate to raise my hand and ask a question anymore. Like I'm practicing that right now with like Dr. Miller. Whenever I don't understand something, I just go up to like Miller and I'm like, "Hey, I don't get this. What do you mean by this?" And like I be telling you guys to do that as well, but you guys really don't do it.
I mean, like,
honestly.
I ask questions all the time.
The thing is, like, I have a problem, and the problem is that, yeah, they keep saying this, but, like, they're like, don't be afraid to ask questions.
Right.
I already am.
When you go up to the teacher and, like, you ask the question, that, like, and they're just like, I just explained that. Why weren't you? And I just don't get what you said. Like,
That's
Dr.
not for
Miller's
asking.
not like that though.
You
I mean,
also
like,
gotta
sometimes he's like that. It's scary. It's scary.
You also gotta make sure. You also gotta like think about the question you're about to ask.
Yeah.
And
like,
always ask it to a student before you ask it to the teacher.
Sometimes, like, yeah, I ask like students before I ask the teacher, and I think, yeah, I did say like that has been my biggest problem in my college course. Like, I couldn't even like go up to James. I didn't even know what I needed to know. Like, I didn't even know what kind of question I wanted to ask James. Cause like I remember I asked him like, hey, how do I make a drum pattern? And like he told me how to make this jazz thing, and I didn't understand. I understood, but I also didn't what he was explaining.
Like in one ear throughout the other.
Yeah, kind of like that situation. It's always hard. I don't know how to do it.
You gotta ask like questions whenever you're not sure about something. What you need to do is figure out first what you're not sure about, then figure out what do you need to ask in order to understand it.
Right. So I think the piece of advice I would give is to build relationships. Like with your professor, always like go to office hours. Like go talk to your professor, have a conversation with him. It doesn't have to be about school. Just have any conversation with him, talk with him. That's what I did with my English 101, 108 professor, and that really benefited me because like she gave me it'll really like make you stand out in the class. Like she remembered my name on the second day of school, and she gave me tips on how to do her class better. And like sometimes building that relationship can take you farther. And the same thing goes with your peers, your classmates. If you're in the classroom and you don't have a friend, like how I had a friend with Dante, if you don't have a friend, try to talk to somebody. Like try to build a relationship with somebody in that class.
It's like one thing you one thing you notice is that every classroom has like one person that is slightly like you.
Yeah.
Like every classroom does.
Yeah, just try to
find that person.
Build relationships, and like Dante was saying, ask questions, be involved. That's the number one thing. Be involved. Actively take notes down. And yeah.
I like how like we went from all sounding like distraught except for Dante to like giving people advice.
Yeah. Are we giving ourselves advice?
Because we need to. Because like, yeah, we can't just say the negative.
Like, I know I should take, and I know I should give to other people.
Right.
Like, I don't know, man. Wow.
Oh yeah, the thing I did. So, the advice that I would give myself, so anybody listening can't do what I did. If you're in a spot where you don't want to take a class and your teachers won't let you drop it, or say you're in the future, you're in college, and you can't. This class is just not it, and you don't want to drop it because say you don't have a wealthy family and you don't want to pay, you don't want to waste money on that class. Just like try to talk to the person who's succeeding in that class and try to ask them for help. Like humble yourself. Or if you can't ask them for help, then again go to your professor, see him after hours. Because that's what I should have done. But I have like minor social anxiety and it kicked in. It was like, no, this man is unapproachable. But he's not. Nobody's unapproachable. Not everybody. Yeah, you can talk to anybody. Right. So yeah, just do that. Always seek help. That's what I should have done.
Oh boy, my turn. Which one? Let's see.
Are we all giving advice?
We all should give advice.
I'm giving advice to myself. I think that I should stop downplaying myself. So like stop doubting my own ability.
Yeah. Because
I've seen like a bunch of people say like, hey, I've seen a bunch of people say like, hey, you're pretty good at this thing, and then I'm like, I'm alright. I'm trying my best. But it's like, typically whenever I do something, I sort of don't have high expectations for it. It's just like whatever is.
You downplay your achievements.
Yeah, that exactly.
Like being really good at guitar and Chris like telling you to teach somebody because he has really good hopes in your abilities. And you're just like, I don't know why you would do that. I suck.
Okay, so Stephone, Joseph, and I, we take guitar classes at a library, and one of the instructors there, anonymous, he asked me to.
Oh, now we're not saying names.
I mean, you guys can do it. I'm not gonna do it.
You already did.
You already did.
Too late. It's too late. I changed my mind. So, anonymous number 1, he was like,
Wow.
"Hey, this new student came in, and I want you to teach this person some new stuff." And I was like, "All right, sure. I don't know why you picked me, but all right, I guess this is what we're going with." And Stephone took notice of this, and I asked anonymous, like, after the class, I was like, "Hey, why'd you pick me to do that?" And then, like, he said that I was the best one out of the class. And I was just like, "Psh, you're lying."
Why you didn't ask him after?
Well,
He, like,
wait,
right from the beginning, he said, like, "Oh, this is our best student, actually."
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't remember exactly.
we called you the best student
I don't know why, but
because you are. You're the fastest learning student there.
prove it.
Prove it how?
Isn't this the advice you're giving yourself right now?
That's
This
exactly
is the
why.
advice.
So your
I can't-
advice is to not downplay yourself.
Yeah, I can't
doing it
stop
right
doing
now.
it. I can't stop doing it.
This is the saddest
I know
first
that-
episode of anything ever.
I'm a walking contradiction.
I got. I remember when I was younger, I watched this episode of Sweet Life on Deck, and the ways they broke, the girl, Michai, pay attention.
I'm paying attention.
Like this lady's told you how to break a bad habit. She's like, she put a rubber band around her wrist, and every time she fell into her habit, she would pluck herself, and that would hurt a little bit. You should do that every time you think negatively about yourself. Just pluck yourself.
What is that called?
It's like we learned that in sociology. It's like conditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't, I will. Put the rubber band on your wrist anyway.
I don't own it. No, I don't have it.
I
with me.
don't own a rubber band.
Every time you think negatively about yourself, spray yourself in the eyes with pepper spray.
I don't know. That's painful.
extreme.
It's extreme. That's gonna make you hate it more.
How about jalapeno sauce?
Poke yourself in the loin with a needle.
No.
Eat an entire bowl of wasabi.
Jump in front of a moving car.
Okay.
Hit
That's
yourself.
death right there. Oh wait.
Every time I downplay myself.
Suicide is not the right way, guys. If anybody's listening,
We aren't endorsing suicide.
yeah.
We're not
it's the
endorsing
right way.
anything.
Suicide bad.
But we are endorsed by Fritos, Lay's, and
It's a permanent solution to a temporary
Frito-Lays?
problem. No,
Yeah, Lay's.
suicide.
Now we gotta cut that out.
Well, Stephone, any advice that you would give to yourself, to the audience?
To myself.
We can hear you eat that orange too.
I'm not even eating anything.
Shoot.
Yes, you are. We can hear it.
Don't be such a liar, Stephone. Like,
This turned into ASMR.
Stop. Oh my god.
I
that's-
don't know. I don't know any advice right now.
Prove it.
Be cool.
I'm already doing that.
Same.
I'm the cool swinger.
Want to bet?
Do we have any more topics we can branch off into?
Let's play this game.
How long have we been recording?
A while.
It is 4:12.
Excuse me, how long have we been recording?
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, let's cut this whole part out.
Hey,
The window is the glass is kind of soundproof, so she can't hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can talk into the podcast, that's fine.
Hi.
How long have we been recording?
Wow.
We can go a little longer, that's fine.
It's around 4 o'clock, and we have until 5.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Let's go.
Hooray.
Anyway, share a time you've been awesomely inspired. Alright. So, what's a time we've been awesomely inspired?
Awesome.
I'm awesomely inspired every time I walk out a Marvel movie.
Honestly, I feel like, yeah, that's actually a big one. Actually, anytime, like, I finish, anytime I used to finish, you don't have to pull it out slowly, bro. Just pull it out. Don't clip that.
Don't clip that. In fact, make that the whole podcast. Only that sentence.
Bro, just pull it out.
Just keep it on the table so all
No,
of
but
us
like
can see
anytime
it.
like I finish like a part in JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, like
Anime.
Yeah, anime. No, the manga.
Oh.
Silly goose. But anytime I used to finish a part of that, like I used to really want to get into drawing and storytelling.
Stop this.
Yum. But because like Araki's like such a good artist because like this man like doesn't start with a sketch, which explains a lot of like his crappy drawings, but like also doesn't explain like a lot of his best works. Amazing.
What about you two?
A time I felt awesomely inspired. Let's see. I don't know. What about you, Joseph?
What about me?
Young man.
I've been really into like.
Did you say I don't know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Failure.
You're not allowed to say I don't know.
The
Better
answer
think
is
of
unknown to
something.
me.
Better think of something.
The answer is unknown
You
to
better
me.
think while Joseph talks.
Yeah, I get really inspired by like. I've been watching a lot of motivational. Like, okay, so I get inspired by people who excel. I'm not sure if anybody. Well, I know Stephone knows about this guy. His name is David Goggins,
Yeah.
and like
Who's that?
I believe he's a
bodybuilder.
he's a
And he's a
bodybuilder, and
US Marine,
he was in the Navy SEALs.
Yeah, Navy SEALs. Oopsie.
And like this guy, like he always tries his best. He broke a lot of records. He did a lot of he do like these things called super marathons where he just sprints. And like I'm sure he did something like super amazing, but I don't remember it right now. But like this guy inspires me a lot. And like because of his determination and his dedication to keep moving forward, even though like things get tough for him, he just kicks himself up. And I really admire that about him. Like he's able to motivate himself. And I think that everybody should be able to motivate themselves sometimes when life gets hard.
That's interpersonal intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dante.
Dab on those haters.
Yeah. Anyway, what were you awesomely inspired by?
He said it. A Marvel movie.
Every time I walk out the Marvel
That was
movie,
your actual answer?
I immediately after I walk out the Marvel movie, I want to write.
Just write in your head and you keep them there.
Yeah.
When you cannot sleep at night, what do you think about?
When I can't sleep.
My past mistakes.
No, Michai.
Wow.
You're like, get the pepper spray.
I think about why I can't sleep. I know it's a lame answer, but that's why. Because when I can't sleep, then that's what all I think about. I'm like, damn it, why can't I sleep? That's what I think about.
You stick that in a loop.
Yeah.
Okay, my answer was a lie.
That's
but
lame.
Typically, when I can't sleep, it's because I'm expecting like a big event tomorrow.
Oh, are we talking about why? Like, is there a reason to why we can't sleep, or is it just one of those nights where you just can't sleep at all?
No, it's a thing that happens to me. I don't know if it happens to anyone else, but if there's like, let's say it's the first day of school.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I cannot sleep that night.
Yeah, it'd be like that. I think that's like most people. What was that?
But to
Everyone
go,
goes
but
quiet.
to go into that, yeah.
Oh.
Now the way you explain it gives me more to talk about. I originally thought you guys were just talking about insomnia and like I would think why I can't sleep, but if I'm not able to sleep because like I'm expecting a big event tomorrow, then probably the logical reason to why I can't sleep is because my thoughts are being overfilled by those ideas. Like what's going to happen tomorrow? Like especially if it's the first day of school, I'm going to think about like how will I greet my friends, or will I make new friends, or how will my seminars be, or like how will the classwork be, how will orientation be? All that stuff just runs through my head.
Same with me. It's like I'm gonna call it sleep anxiety because I don't know what else to call it.
You just want to call it something depressing.
Whenever I can't sleep, I just imagine scenarios that will never happen in my head.
Like what?
I'm not saying it.
Getting a girl.
All right, that's the end of the podcast, guys.
I just be thinking about those beans.
Beans? Really?
No, but I don't know.
I'd be thinking about the kids.
we can't bring that here.
What makes you want to dance?
Nothing, honestly. I don't like dancing.
Thank
Same
You
here.
by Twilight by The Pillows from FLCL.
Any Anderson
Anime.
Paak track.
You right, bro.
Annie
Bro.
Anderson,
What's up,
Pac.
bro?
Mississippi Slide.
Mississippi Queen.
Yeah, right.
Right foot,
Oh
let's
yeah,
stomp.
Mississippi Queen is a good one. AC/DC, shoot for the trill.
AC/DC college.
That's ICDC, not ACDC.
ACDC.
That's an action card.
Oh.
We won't be able to do it.
Put that back. Okay, what makes me want to dance? A song that makes me
What
want to
did it
dance
say?
is there's a bunch of songs.
Mississippi Queen.
There's Mississippi Queen. There's
Cult of Personality.
Cult of Personality. Yeah.
Oh, I like that song.
Seriously funny.
Seriously, that makes me dance.
Yeah.
Let me read
You
one.
gonna learn today.
Let me read one. The boys ready?
I didn't even answer my question, but okay. Okay, let's
You
see.
did. You said
did.
Mississippi
song-
You said
Queen.
Mississippi Queen.
A song
and-
that makes me want to dance is "Best Friend" by Rex Orange County.
That'd
That
be a bump.
depressing ass song.
It's not depressing. It sounds nice. It's like, da-na-na-na, you know.
That song is slow and sad.
It's not so sad.
This man,
Dancing to like slow dancing in the dark.
this man dancing to ambient music.
I'm dancing to white noise.
He's dancing the Minecraft theme. This hardcore like Fortnite dancing is like it's like soft piano keys.
This man, the type of man that dance to the Up theme song.
The up theme song.
I have.
I'm gonna read my card now.
Go ahead.
It says, "What is your deepest regret?" Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
That's an inside joke that hopefully any of you guys will never get. Whoever's watching.
Just hope no one calls the police on All Smiles.
Inside joke gone wrong.
All Smiles arrested? Question mark. First YouTube video.
Yeah,
Oh god. Okay, we can get.
it's a joke, by the way.
Yeah. Oh,
We didn't even answer the
I
question.
forgot. We can get. Nah, we're not answering that. What's the biggest mistake? What's the biggest mistake you have ever made in a romantic relationship?
I gotta think.
You gotta
Oh, boy.
think.
Getting
I thought it'd be
married.
easy for you, Josie. Remember the time you broke up with Sam?
Huh?
What? Why'd
Hold
you?
on.
What?
Remember that time? Was that a mistake?
Touching my mic.
Yeah, but that wasn't the biggest one.
Oh no, you have a bigger mistake.
Oh dear. What's even bigger than
Getting
that?
into the relationship.
See, no.
Nah.
Somebody go before me. I gotta think.
This is a difficult question.
I mean, I haven't been. In
Okay, I got one.
relationships,
All right. So, I didn't tell you guys this yet, so this is a new one.
Ooh, spicy podcast exclusive.
Zoinks.
So, when I first dated, I'm gonna give her a name.
Anonymous.
Jane Doe,
Kevin.
the one before
I
Sam.
hate y'all.
Give her a video game name. Call her Samus. I want your halal food
How
so
about-
much.
Can I have it?
Okay, I'll call her Lizatron.
This is Tron.
So I was dating this girl called Lizatron, and one of the things, I don't regret dating her, but I do regret how I acted. So the reason we broke up is because, like, I was a shy young man who knew nothing about how to work a relationship, and I learned a lot about that. I learned a lot about that from that relationship because I learned how to actually be romantic and how to be a boyfriend. But back then, like, I was a shy guy. Like, I wouldn't even hold hands with her sometimes. Like, I don't know. Like, I wasn't confident at all, and that's a big regret because of that relationship didn't last long, and also because of that, like, that was just uncool of me. But I don't really have any regrets. I feel like I learned from all the mistakes I've made, so I don't have regrets. Because all the regrets I had in my life taught me how to do better.
Improvement gang.
Yeah.
Self-improvement, gang. My biggest regret in a romantic relationship, being in one at all.
Seriously?
That's sad.
I gotta put you in the hot seat real quick. Like,
You want a hug?
Mine is the exact opposite. Mine's just not being in one.
actually,
Yes,
I'm
you
not
have.
gonna put you in the hot seat.
It's because, like, okay, kinda. But, like, the thing is, like, it's kind of, Rick and Morty-esque. Like,
Wait, what?
Just say it, man.
it's
Just say your
that, like,
opinion.
I don't know. I enjoy being in a loving relationship and all, but, like, I wish I didn't want to be in one. Because, like, I feel like I'm a bit reliant on it. And that's sad. Like, I enjoy the person I'm with right now. I really do.
You're with someone?
Yeah.
You are?
Megan.
Prove it right now.
You're with Megan again? I'm proud of you.
I hate how this is on the podcast right now.
It was too late.
But
to
like,
change that.
I'm really happy I'm with her. But like, I don't enjoy that I need to be in one.
Do you really need to, or is that like
Yeah.
a personal preference thing?
It feels like I need to, cause like when I'm alone, I don't like it.
So you're like a heavy extrovert.
I think you're the most extroverted out of all
Yeah,
of us.
you're the most
What
extroverted
y'all
out of
talking
all
about?
of us.
This don't relate.
How does it not relate?
What does that have to relate with this?
What do you mean?
What does
Do
that
you
relate?
not know what an extrovert is?
Yeah,
Wait,
So-
you don't know?
I do.
Oh, then how do you not know how it relates?
I don't get. Like, explain.
Extrovert, you take energy from being around people, right? So you would be a classic example because you need a relationship with a person because with that person you feel whole, right? If you were lonely, then you would feel sad, right?
Right?
Like you'll feel lethargic.
I don't think that's what that means.
What do you mean it doesn't? Huh?
I don't think that's what that means.
Why?
What,
Extrovert
extrovert?
means you enjoy putting yourself out there.
No.
That's introvert.
That's introvert.
No, extrovert.
Extrovert
An
is...
introvert is like enjoy like liking being alone.
No.
Introvert is like you
no.
shut yourself in.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
you
give you
shut
I'll give you the
yourself
proper terms. An introvert means you can still hang out with friends, but you get energy from being alone. Like you can hang out with friends for a whole day, but you need to be alone to regain your energy. You thrive when you're alone.
It's
An
like-
extrovert is the exact opposite.
had it completely
You can look this
backwards.
up.
It's like...
So you had it like people think there's a misconception when people hear introvert, they hear they shut themselves out of all social situations. No, that's antisocial.
and
Introvert,
it's asocial.
yeah, introvert. You
Why
don't
give us
shut
the
yourself
actual
out.
definition?
What? Oh, and
You know what the actual definition of antisocial is?
That is the actual
antisocial... No,
definition.
antisocial is like sociopathy.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause
antisocial
I've
is...
been meaning to get you set up bodies too for a while.
I'm looking at
They
the
teach you
definition
something
right
like
now.
You
Tony,
look
that's
at
the definition.
asocial. You think of asocial. Asocial is like people who don't like interacting with
Alright,
people,
look
and they
up
become like
a-
hostile and violent.
wait, you
sometimes.
said asocial?
Yeah, asocial. Antisocial is like numb to emotions and stuff. Like they're like against social stuff. Can I have your
Alright.
halal food?
No.
Please.
So
Please.
Damn.
wanna eat
yeah,
it now?
Dante. Okay, so Dante was right about asocial, which means avoiding social interaction, inconsiderate of or hostile towards others, and this is more so an attribute given by this. So this is in the social condition. It's just an attribute. Antisocial, I believe, is a social condition. So here's the definition for that.
Let me check your
Common
halal food, bro.
common causes of this symptom. So, antisocial behavior is a dysfunction of a person's way of thinking, perceiving situations, and relating to others. So, this would be a classic example of a psychopath, right?
It's
Psychopath.
closer to sociopath.
But I don't think so.
Can I have your halal food?
You're still thinking about his food. He's explaining definitions. You're just like, I'm so hungry right now.
Yeah.
Thinking about them beans.
Thinking about them beans.
But I don't have a degree in psychology.
No
So,
one here does.
Yeah, no one here does.
Definitely
Someone
not.
does.
I'm not a
Isn't
doctor.
that right?
No one.
Andrew.
But yeah, people often assume that being an introvert means you're antisocial, which isn't true. It just means that you thrive when you're alone. You can still have interactions with people. You just thrive when you're alone. And what you're explaining, this is how it ties in, because you don't see how it ties in, but it ties in because you thrive with relationships. You need to be with somebody. If you said yourself, if you're not with somebody, then you feel. What do you feel?
Sad boy hours.
Yeah.
Sad boy hours. Ow.
Yeah, that kind
Ow.
of hurt.
Okay. I'll,
Your ears?
do you want to go answer the question,
Yeah.
or should I answer the question?
Mine was not being in a
Dante, I'm gonna
relationship.
start eating in front of you.
You can't eat in
Don't
here.
eat.
You
eat.
ate.
Well, he had a banana.
You
He's
had
not allowed to
you
eat
had
in here
an
either.
orange.
Okay, so I'll go. My biggest,
Regret in a relationship, romantic wise.
it's mistake, but whatever.
It says mistake.
Wait, why are you reading that? Wait.
To know the question? What? Okay, my biggest mistake in a romantic relationship it was probably
Touch the kids.
You can't even fully say the joke here. But what makes you feel sexy?
No.
nothing.
Can you answer the question?
How do you
We
keep
didn't
getting
answer
this?
the question.
Can we please get rid of this question?
No, bro.
Every
Can you
single
just
time.
answer the regret one, man?
Answer it.
Ooh. Ooh. I don't know.
What do you mean you don't
I honestly
know?
don't know. I had a lot of them.
You are a clown.
Just say
sir.
one of them then.
Sir, listen. I could never
Fill your shoes. Yeah.
ever.
Big clown
The
shoes.
communication one with
Oh
Wendell.
yeah. Okay, so not having enough communication was a big issue.
With what? Wait, in a relationship? In a romantic relationship? I
Yeah.
thought you like said a name.
He
No.
didn't say a name.
He said
Okay.
it.
Did he say?
Anonymous.
He didn't say a name. No one said anyone's name.
Johnny Doe.
We're doing really good at this.
Let's call her Pooh.
It's called yeah.
If you do that again, we're gonna throw hands.
Moving on to the next question. What are you most passionate about?
Did I answer that question though? The last one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. You just did. Well,
You said
I
not
just-
being in one.
Oh yeah.
Michai, your camera's on, by the way.
it was on. I turned it off. What are you most passionate about?
I'm passionate about music.
Dante never answered the question.
You did answer the question.
Oh,
I didn't go into detail like the other guys did.
Do you want to?
I mean, I was going to, but since we move it on,
yeah, since we're moving on.
writing it, I guess, is my passion. You know, storytelling.
Wait, let me see the card.
Which card? The romantic one?
No, the other one. The
Graphic
one we're doing
design
now.
is my passion.
Graphic design is my passion.
I'm really passionate about entrepreneurship and the idea of being my own employee.
I'm trying to make
Really?
some money, bro. Trying to make some dough.
Yeah, I need money to buy food.
Yeah, I'm kind of hungry right now. Anybody got like some food on you?
Yeah, like halal food.
Maybe halal?
Joseph.
Joseph, got any halal food? Oh, look.
Interesting.
I'm gonna get Chinese food when I,
I
get
feel like
home.
we're
I'm
losing
hungry.
like subject matter really fast.
We
Yeah.
are.
Because I'm hungry and I want some Chinese food.
Then get some. What's the problem?
I don't know where a restaurant nearby is.
We'll do it after this.
I need to go home first. My mom has my
My
money.
mom needs me.
My mommy needs me.
I must go.
All right,
4:30.
guys, pull another card out of there.
Okay, I got you. Let's get vulnerable.
I
Yeah,
thought we would
we're
go
playing
funny.
the game right now.
When did you last cry in front of another person?
Never.
When I was
Never.
when I
I
was a
never
baby.
cried in front of another person before. I
Like,
always
when
cried
they-
alone.
Like, do you mean like if when they notice or when they don't notice?
What are you talking about?
So
When did
some-
you cry in front of a person?
I
Wait.
cry in front of you guys sometimes, but but you guys don't notice.
I noticed once. I never said anything about it.
I always notice.
No, you don't.
Yeah, because it makes your makeup run, bro.
But it's like you put your you do this.
Typically, when you do it, you put your head down
Yeah,
and your
you
head
put
on.
your head down.
You put your head down and act like you're looking at your phone. I know you ain't looking at
I
And
do
look at some
pretend like I'm
tears.
like, oh, damn.
I'm touching them too.
I
I've
don't think-
never cried in front of
Yeah,
another person.
same here.
I've-
Except for my mom when she was whipping me.
Ow, my ears.
Yeah, your laugh hurts, man.
You know, just
Turn
casual
your head
child,
away, alright?
casual child abuse.
Maybe you just don't hit me with jokes like
The only
that.
time I laugh, man.
The only time I cry is when my mom beats me.
Yeah. Why did I say laugh? I said laugh. What?
When my mom started hitting me with the belt, I started cracking up.
You really think that
It's like, she was like,
But yeah, that was the only time I cried in front of somebody. I
I
don't.
just started whipping Jared with a belt.
I remember one time me, Michai, and Joseph were walking and I broke down crying.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And then
It
like
was-
I got up and I pretend like it didn't happen.
We all did.
We were such bad friends at that moment because like me and
Exactly.
Makai were looking at each other like,
We've
oh,
always
like,
been
oh
bad.
man, what do we do?
No, honestly, I like you guys sitting next to me. Honestly, made me feel better.
Yeah, it was the only thing I thought to do
Yeah,
because
just like being quiet because I feel like if I brung it up, that would make it worse.
the
Because like
situation was so awkward because
Yeah.
we didn't know what to expect.
I didn't
don't-
see it as awkward.
We don't often like bring up things that like happen like in the group to people because like I think we all feel like it's gonna be awkward. Like
Wait.
like when that thing happened with you, Dante, like a while back when I was like getting on you for not leaving your bag inside the school. Like I remember like you got angry at me, and we didn't bring it up again.
Yeah. We don't really talk about emotions with each other.
Yeah, it's lame.
We forgot that I forgot that happened.
I mean, that's what all people do.
I forgot.
My ears.
That's what all people do. Cause like, say two people got into a fight. If two people got into a fight, they're not gonna talk about that fight afterwards. No,
Yeah.
that's
Especially
gonna be.
if
I think some people do actually. There are like instances where like I think one kid in our school like talked about like how he got into like a fight with his friend.
Was the friend there?
I think so. Like they talk about it because like
They did.
They like had some beef with each other. And, like, all right, we settling this right now. They threw their bags down. They duked it out, and then like, and like they hugged it out when they were done, and then they became friends again.
Yeah, I know those guys. They were in our class last year.
That was a really weird story.
They talked about it in circle, and they were like, hey, "Yeah, I wanted to beat him up."
So who was that?
Use their
Say, you can say it
aliases.
all.
Aliases?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Say something that's similar to the name of that, actually.
Sacarbio.
No.
Was it Clayface?
It was
Was it Clayface Michelangelo?
It was Badger and
Oh,
Ridley.
Ridley Scott.
I know who Badger is. I don't know
yeah,
who
I know who Badger is.
Badger and
I think I know who Ridley is.
I don't know.
No, bro. What's the point of masking?
I didn't even say the name.
You almost did. That's so funny.
I mean, do we even need to?
Is it Toppler?
No.
Just say an outrageously black name.
Okay, racist.
Tamakiato.
Why is it so hard for you to say the name?
It's Bashir and Riley.
Who's Riley?
Who's Riley?
Bashir. Wait, no, it's. Oh, Riley is his last name. Oh my god.
Riley.
Oh, I forgot. Riley's
Yo, we
his.
smoking.
You are dummy.
Riley's his last name.
What were we
Oh my-
talking about before?
Why can't you just say his first name but
What
inverted?
were you talking about before Riley?
Sir, we are off the dude.
Or we
We're-
were talking about like
We were
how
discussing how.
I got mad at Stephone and we never talked about that.
Whatever. Question time.
What was the original question?
What was the original question? We got off.
What's your guilty pleasure?
We'll get better at this.
Guilty,
My
pleasure?
Yeah.
I remember my guilty pleasure in middle school was My Little Pony.
Really?
Yeah,
Are you still into
The
it?
guilty
No.
pleasure?
Yeah, something that's like looked down upon people.
Masturbation.
I was about to say porn.
Wow. Okay.
What's wrong with you guys? I can't
That's a
hang
guilty
with y'all.
pleasure.
I'm not guilty about it.
Bro, I take pride in it.
You mean I got a whole Instagram page dedicated to it.
Okay. Okay. You can stop right
Wait,
now.
what?
I don't know about that one, Chief.
I don't
I'm not sure
actually. I don't.
Stephone in disbelief. Wait,
I should
what?
start one.
I can never fill your shoes,
I
Dante.
could never film my own
I used
shoes.
to have a page, a porn channel.
Anyway, so
But it was
Anyways,
a
next
specific. It
question.
was a specific body
Guilty
part.
pleasure.
when's the last time you cried in front of another person? Right now, bro. You making me want to do some tears.
Pull out a get Pawaki card.
Go wacky.
Let's get funny with each other, bro.
Go crazy. Go stupid.
Let's do another one. Let's get funny.
Go positively bonkers, yeah?
Why are you not reading
Because
these?
they're bad.
Because they're not funny.
Name something you should do. You should not do naked.
We already-
Exercising, lifting weights,
Going
Stretching.
in front of an elementary school.
Stretching.
of kids,
Stretching.
touching of
Doing
kids.
your normal.
No, no, no,
role
no,
as
actually.
a priest or
Stretching,
Vatican.
no, stretching naked is.
I have one.
Great.
Doing a trapeze show at a circus.
We really
in front of
just
children.
we really just ducked and evaded this guilty pleasure card.
Did I answered mine?
I answered mine too.
I don't have a guilty pleasure.
I mean, he kind of answered his too.
I don't have a guilty pleasure.
I'm not guilty about any of my pleasures.
When you think about where you were raised, what makes you smile?
What?
Philadelphia? I don't know, man. I mean, but like I
The
feel like
gunshots.
the gunshots.
The gunshots.
West Philadelphia,
Born and raised on the playground where I spend most of my days. Chilling on backs and relaxing all cool.
I'll
Playing
play
some b-ball outside of school.
with a
Couple of guys who were up to no good.
Started making trouble in my neighborhood. You can't sing it because you weren't from us.
No, 'cause I don't. He is
Mikai's not
from
either. He's from
Philly,
the
too.
north.
Why'd you sing with us?
I'm from a completely different state.
Tired, you Saint. What is it? Saint Nick?
St. Louis?
Saint Louis.
St. Louis. You are from St. Louis. What are you doing here?
You know, just living.
I just
Okay,
like
but-
the idea of brotherly love.
Yeah. Like the idea, like I feel like I don't like Philly, but at the same time I do because like I get really excited when I hear the name Philadelphia mentioned in a movie. I got really excited when I figured out that like Split was in Philadelphia.
I get excited when I see Philadelphia in movies too, like Shazam trailer.
Wasn't there a game?
Yeah,
that
whole movie took place in Philly, right?
Yeah, okay. Just
I didn't watch
that.
Shazam, but I saw the trailer and I was like, "Yo, that's Philadelphia! I know those towers."
Wasn't there a game where it was like based in Philadelphia?
What was it?
Philadelphia.
Metro or something like that?
Metro.
I don't know what
That
it's
takes
called.
place in Russia, bro.
No.
I feel like
like-
you're describing like a PlayStation 2 game that we never heard about.
It was like Metro 322 or something like that.
Yeah, that's in Russia, bro.
Russia, bro.
Is it?
Yeah,
I
bro.
thought it was in Philadelphia.
Huh?
Russia-delphia.
Russia-delphia.
You are off the goop on this.
Something about St. Louis that makes me smile.
The
I
arch.
like
Your corny arch.
the arch isn't. It's not
It's
bad.
bad.
It's
Y'all
not bad.
McDonald's
It's gonna.
clowns.
It's not even a full McDonald's logo. It's half it.
It's
Ronald
because it came
McClowns.
before McDonald's.
It's gonna fall.
It's not gonna. It hasn't
It's gonna-
fallen. It hasn't fallen in years.
It's gonna fall and
It's
kill
never
all
fallen.
of you.
It's never fallen.
It's good.
The arch fell down.
Watch tomorrow. It's gonna be like a tornado in St. Louis. It's gonna rip the arch right out the ground.
Hey man, that's insensitive because you actually get tornadoes.
Exactly.
We almost did.
Yeah.
Tornado warning.
Philadelphia almost got a whole tornado. Or was it a tornado?
It was a tornado warning.
We got a storm. Well, we got a storm.
Philadelphia's like, tornado?
Tornado? What's a
What are
tornado?
you talking about, bro? I ain't never seen one of those in my
Tornado? You mean tortilla?
life. Hurricane Tortilla. I think that Vine is copyrighted.
Tortilla?
Tortilla.
Tortilla alert.
I think we'll have better topics to talk about next time. You know?
We'll talk about vines next time.
Or just better structure in
We'll
general.
talk about vines for 2 hours next time. Just quoting vines nonstop.
Hurricane Tortilla. More like Hurricane Katrina.
This game is our entire basis right now.
What is your most treasured memory?
Yikes.
Ow! Bro, my ears.
What's the question?
Sorry. It goes with every answer.
What is your most trusted memory? Sorry about this for whoever's listening.
I
My
humbly
most-
I apologize. I know.
It's stupid.
It is
Okay, my most treasured memory. Yeah,
that right
like
there.
right there.
This right here.
Writing like my first issue of Comic Times for when I was in like what I want to say third grade, not third grade, fourth. Yeah, like when I was in fourth grade, writing the first issue of Comic Times with my friends. Comic Times is like a little comic business that I started when I was like in elementary. I believe that's when fourth grade happens. Like yeah, when I was there, like we started this little comic book company because I wanted to make a little bit of money, and I also like wanted to.
Yeah, okay, you guys are tripping.
You
You
made
done?
me lose my entire thought pattern.
Your
Like,
comic
yeah,
town.
we wanted to make a little bit of money, and like also because I really wanted to like get into like illustration, and also because of that
Captain Underpants?
Yeah, Captain Underpants. That book, I loved it. It was great. It was all fun. It was really funny.
Captain Underpants is a great book.
Yeah. How many kids has Captain Underpants really inspired?
Millions.
Millions.
Billions.
I remember like as a
Quadrillions.
kid, I like the first time I got angry at the media was like when people made Dave Pinkley or Pinkley. Oops, I never figured out how to say his name. Like they made my man stop writing Captain Underpants books purely because like they thought the series was inappropriate for children, and it made me mad.
It had like some types of gross out humor, but it wasn't that bad for like kids.
I really like how he incorporated the flip animation.
Oh, yeah, I
into
love that.
book.
That
yeah.
was the
That's the
coolest.
best.
That's
The best part.
He's
Yeah.
a genius for that.
that got kids into animation. Like for real, bro.
Right.
I did that. Yo, in every comic book that I wrote, like I had one of those in there. I had made this book that I didn't even know cuz like okay, now that I think back to it, like Chronicle copied me. like Chronicle stole my idea because I made this series, like the series, what was it called? Chosen One or like Storm? Yeah, it was called Storm. Like where these four boys like go down into like a rocky cavern and they find this old man who gives them all superpowers.
Yeah.
And like they can like control the weather and like they're like going through high school trying to figure things out. And like they gotta like at the end of the book like they end up killing their master or something.
Oh
And,
dear.
huh?
Oh dear.
Yeah, it was
Spoilers.
spoiler alert. But like even in that, like I had like I think 6 pages worth of fliporama. Like where it's just like this guy they like went on an elevator and went all the way down and there was a bunch of like clones and like they just started punching and beating all of them up. It was the coolest thing that I ever wrote. Second to Comic Town, which is another great series that I made. I'm like just rolling in myself.
Yeah.
You are young, man.
Like it's great. It's great stuff.
So what about you, Dante?
What's your
Treasure
greatest-
memory.
What's your treasured memory?
It's a treasure, man.
When I was like 9 or 10, me and my friends thought we were gonna die because there was an earthquake, and like his mom told us about an aftershock, and we were like in our heads we were like, oh, we're going to die today.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah, we
right
thought
now.
it was over, so we got me, him, and my third friend all gathered up into like my third friend's house,
Yeah.
and we were praying. We were reminiscing of the good times that we
Really?
had.
At such a young age.
We were like 9 or 10. We thought we were going to die.
Oh my god, that must have been so
I
stressful.
remember you, like, when did you talk to... Wait, you talked about this in, Oh, yeah, you talked about this in the library. I remember this.
Yeah.
We were going to die. That's what was our mindset. Like, this is the last day. We thought the earth was going to shake, the ground was going to open, and we were going to fall into hell. That was our
Fall
thought.
right down to
From
hell.
my ears.
That's our thought process. That's what we were thinking. We thought it was over for us.
Uh-huh.
We thought it was game end.
Game
We're
over.
in the end game now.
Exactly.
Game over.
I got my end game tickets unrelated, but yeah. Joseph, how about
Game
you?
over.
How about me? Treasure memory.
Wait, why is that treasured? Oh, wait, because you shared your sentimental value with them. Okay, sorry. You go, Joseph.
Okay, so my treasured memory is when all 4 of us. This is one of mine's. I can't remember my most, but when all 4 of us, 5 with Darlington, when we went to
that restaurant.
First, when we originally were hanging out at 40th Street, and then we decided to go to Bang Chang's.
That wasn't at 40th Street.
Oh, not 40th Street.
Yeah.
Penn's Landing.
Yeah,
My
Penn's
bad.
Landing.
Penn's Landing.
Old City, I think we were at, actually.
Yeah, Old City, Penn's Landing, and then we went to Chinatown to Bang Chang's, and that was a cool memory.
Bang Chang's is like... Is it a fried chicken restaurant?
No.
No, it's
No,
not.
Not at all.
No.
It's like a Chinese...
They sell fried chicken.
They sell fried chicken.
It's like a Chinese, like, chicken place.
No,
That's all
it's-
I
Yeah,
can
no, it's
describe
not
it as,
chicken
'cause, like,
either.
I think that's their main, like, item, though. That they're known for. Like,
I
that
had-
really good double fried chicken.
I had takoyaki. It was
Taco?
really amazing. It was so amazing I made a character out of it.
Huh?
Yeah, he did. I know his character. Also, my favorite part about that restaurant was the waitress there.
Oh, she was cool.
Yeah, the waitress was so cool.
I cannot remember her.
I don't understand. Like, you guys kept saying, like, I remember, like, we made a big thing, like, Darlington made a big thing about giving her a $10 tip, which I was for because, like, you know, tip your waitresses. But, like, I didn't see how cool she was.
You didn't?
I don't remember her
she
at
didn't-
all.
Yeah, I
You
don't.
don't? She was
didn't do
cool.
anything.
She was a mate.
Besides give us our food.
Bro, she walked down the stairs with like a tower of like glass
I remember
cups.
that. I see what you mean. Oh,
She had
yeah,
like
she
a-
is cool for that.
She had like a tower of glass cups. It was like 20 cups stacked
Oh,
to the
yeah.
ceiling, and she was carrying them all.
I didn't see that because I was so hungry I didn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, on to the next topic. But
That's not how
my
you wrap
my
things
most
up.
treasured memory. This was about a while ago. I think 2 years ago. We were all walking home, and it was the end of the school year, and someone had the great idea of saying every single joke we made that year.
oh
I
yeah.
remember
yeah.
that. That was
Because we
great.
were scared because Michai, we thought you were going
Yeah.
to like
We
leave
thought you were
Yeah.
going to St. Louis again.
No, we thought you were going to a house in the woods.
Yeah, we thought you were about
In New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New Jersey.
My parents decided not to move because they wanted me to finish high school, and then they were gonna move. So
You're
we
leaving now. So
I
you're
mean,
not.
didn't they?
Yeah, they-
Stuff happens.
We were running. No, we were kind of like slowing down our pace, and then like every place we would stop, just to like do a bunch of jokes. I remember like we stopped to sit on a wall just to make That joke about a poor family or something.
No, that was when we were saying every single inside joke that we've ever made.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
There's the one about the song. Like you had it. Yeah, that one.
What I need.
I can't remember. Did we do box water?
Yeah, we did box water.
Yeah.
We did Masons.
I love some box
Box water is
water.
a fire meme.
Yeah.
It's not even a meme.
It's a meme
It's
we
a
made.
It's a meme to us.
It's not even a
It's
meme.
a meme in our hearts.
It's just a weird. Like who boxes water? Like
Who does that? Like, apparently, a company somewhere out there.
a company.
It was tasty. Yeah, it was tasty water.
Some juicy water.
This is like cardboard.
I have this new invention that's gonna blow you guys' mind. You ready? I put water in a box.
I have an idea. Let's put milk in a bag.
Canada in a nutshell.
We go Canadian. We going maybe wild. So here's what we're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna do some shout outs. I'm gonna do some shout outs. And then we're gonna be making an email. So if like this ever blows up, you can send us some emails for the next podcast for us to answer.
Or tell
Are
us
we
how
going
you
to use the Tistis
or tell us how we can
Live
improve.
email?
Yeah, we can use Tistis Live.
Or tell us just how we can improve in general.
tistislive@gmail.com.
If you want to send us an email, you can send us an email over at tistislive@gmail.com.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that called again?
TSTS
Live.
Yeah.
@gmail.com.
No spaces,
No
no capitals.
Of course,
Yeah.
I mean, TSTS and the L are capital.
We'll
Yeah.
have it in the description down
Yeah,
below.
we'll have it in the description.
Down below.
tistislive@gmail.com. Some shout outs. I wanna do some shout outs to Nick from the library. Hello. I'm glad you listened, man.
Nicholas,
Even
hi.
though we didn't really talk about literature as much as like I thought we would. Like,
I was wrong.
yeah,
There's no capital
I'm sorry
letters.
about that. Yeah, he was wrong. No capital letters in the email address. tistislive@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Shout out to my Canadian friend Haley.
Hi.
Shout out to Megan and the entirety of the other Tis.
I personally want to thank everyone at the Kelly's Writer House for being so amazing.
Yeah, Zach, this one goes out to you.
Yeah, thank you, Zach, for allowing us to use the studio space to record our stupid podcast.
And thank you for allowing us to do it again
Maybe.
next time.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Just maybe.
Look for us to record our stupid podcast.
Yeah. I believe that's going to be all.
Wait,
for-
okay. How are we
Okay.
going?
You guys
I
wanna,
thought we were
like,
all
any-
shouting out.
No, yeah, okay. All
Alright.
messages.
I'd like to shout out.
Kevin.
I'd like to shout out.
Shout out your cousin.
Every cousin.
Dr. Miller. He's my teacher at school. He's the one who motivates me sometimes. I'd also like to shout out Samara Stanford. Check her out on
We're about to say
Instagram.
Santa.
Queen of Wolves. She's a photographer.
Shout out Santa, bro.
I'd like
Yeah.
to shout out Michai for landing us, like, even though, like, the person who's responsible for landing us this connection is up to debate. I would give some credit to you because you're the one who had this internship and you exposed us to these great people like Zach.
Thank you, Zach.
Thanks,
and
Zach.
the other people, and I really appreciate you for that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And if you guys like this podcast, I just want to chime this in. If you guys like this podcast, any feedback at all would be great in terms of like what you would like to hear from us, how you would like us to like improve what we're doing, because we want to get better at this.
Please, we need it.
Yeah,
We
we're just
desperately
getting
need it.
we're getting our sea legs, you know.
Yeah, let's get.
Please do.
Oh God.
I'll do anything. I'll pay you.
I'll pay you to
pay
make
you.
me better.
Some of that halal food.
Oh my god, give me the hell off me right now.
All right, any shout outs, Dante?
Shout out to God.
Shout out to God, big man in the sky, or Allah, if you swing that way.
You swing what way?
Or the animals.
Okay, any other
mean?
shout outs?
Shout out to my mom for giving birth to me.
You're not
And-
not even your dad.
No,
On
my
that-
my dad's job was easy.
Oh,
Ooh,
I could do it too.
I could leave too. I could leave right now. And that's what we're gonna do. And on that note, I think we're gonna leave off.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for tuning into this episode of the Outcasted podcast. We'll
the
be
first
back-
episode.
The first
Actually,
episode.
this has been
This has been Stephone Collins,
Daniel.
Joseph.
Michai.
and we'll see you next time. Ciao.